What's up, everybody? This is going to be an interesting evening because I see that there is a Twitter Spaces right now going on with, hold up, 376 people. It's called the Royal Recap. Looks like Nas did a drop and sold out, and there are a lot of people in this room. And then there's another room with a bunch of people in it. So we'll just have to see. Maybe there's going to be, um, oh, we got Fiddy in the room. Let's bring Fiddy up here to say hello. And by the way, look at 3MinX. Look at their PFP. Look at Manu's PFP. These are some of the derivatives that are going up for the competition, which are so unreal. Hey, Fiddy, what's going on?
What's up, guys? How are you?
We're doing really well. We haven't spoken in a minute.
I know I've been slammed, dude. Like literally slammed. But I wanted to come in and say hi and see you. Just hang for a few minutes and
Yeah,
see what's.
no, that's awesome. We did a 24-hour pre-sale on Friday, and then we did a Spaces with NFP. We opened up our our public sale live on Twitter Spaces. 30 minutes later, sold out.
I helped you with that. I tweeted it out and I got all my friends to come in and I was all over that. And I even called you. I called you on yourself,
I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, we're very very excited.
dude. You hit the record. That's pretty amazing. And Stem and me and everybody were just like making. We were gonna help you more. You sold out before we could even offer more assistance.
That's so awesome. Really really appreciate it. Yeah, and a bunch of apes DM me, and definitely got some of the art crazy people over here. So
Yeah, I've actually found some other artists that are amazing. So, which is cool about this because it's what I love about my project and your project. They work so well together. As I find amazing artists, I'll be sending them to you.
that's amazing.
Yeah, no, I just talked to Luca. He does some derivative stuff on apes and stuff. So I told him to get in touch with you like literally 10 minutes ago.
That's amazing. Would love to speak to Luca. And Fiddy, look down really quick. Do you see Manu?
Yes.
Click on Manu and then click on his profile and then click on his PFP.
Oh, that is so cool.
So this is like a derivative of our Nomad. We haven't even done the reveal yet. That's happening in a week.
That is,
And we're doing a contest in our community right now where we're going to be giving something away to the winner of this contest. And also, if you go down to 3MinX and do the same thing. I mean, these are unreal.
yeah, that is really cool. That is,
So just super
wow.
excited about what's going on.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Um, and yeah, so basically, we are going to be doing the reveal of our mint passes for the Nomad a week from tomorrow. And so we're going to do a bunch of stuff leading up to that event, and would love to get you in the mix.
Yeah,
What's going on with apes? What's been
dude,
going on the last week? I mean, obviously, I've been
dude,
totally in
so
Nomad land.
So we just hit Rarity Tools 5 minutes ago. Like literally, it's
Oh,
live.
congrats!
Yeah, it's such a pain in the butt because they're busy. You know what I mean? I send them the money, but they're busy. So we're on Rarity Tools. We just announced staking. I've got all my staking stuff. So basically, our staking platform is going to be we're going to have tokens called the Bamboo token.
Okay,
And we're doing a project called the Queen Apes. We actually just did one for Paris Hilton, and Hattie's not feeling good, so we're going to be finishing that up tomorrow. We're sending it out to her, and so her PFP is going to be in our Queen Apes collection. It's not a derivative, by the way. I don't know if you've seen it, but our it's going to be Queen Apes, our original collection. It is not a derivative. The art looks badass, and it's Hattie's art, so it looks sick. And they're going to make babies. We're going to have either regular babies, twins, and possibly even triplets.
quadruplets now.
I don't know. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, you gotta have some strong swimmers for that, bro. But it's exciting. We've got that. We just came out with our music platform, our hemp projects. We've got so much going on our roadmap. And I've been really spending the week like not on spaces all day, but talking to our holders, going over the roadmap, just finalizing things and actually putting some work in. And then I'm doing some partnerships with David Guckstein. I always mess up on his name. He actually reached out to me. He wants to work on a collab on a project, and working with Lavelli on a bunch of stuff. So we've had a lot of really cool stuff happen.
It's yeah, it's kind of overwhelming, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's you know what it is. It's interesting because I heard Jr. speak about this, and I didn't realize he's like, you got to keep 10,000 people happy.
And it's it's a lot, you know. We're not it's not just artwork.
No,
Um
dude, we just launched a merch store last night. It's amazing. If you check it out, go to our website. We have a whole merch store. You could upload your art, get your T-shirts, hoodies, hats. I mean, it's amazing. I've got Nikki Diamonds doing another one for us. Everything's going good. But oh, by the way, your ape looks great on Nikki's jacket.
isn't that great? Did you see the jacket one?
Of course, dude. Come on, I talk to Nikki every day.
So I'm hoping that you know, I get to see some, like, is there what's the deal? I haven't really spoken to them about this. Is there
I
going to be a drop?
I don't even know. To be honest with you, I just so he put Stecky's mutant on the shirt,
Uh-huh.
and my community saw it and like, no, 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 we want your ape on the shirt. So somebody in my on the Twitter space changed Stecky's ape to mine, and now Nikki Nikki DMs me, goes, okay, I'm doing yours too. I have no idea, but he said there's going to be some royalties from some of that stuff too.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the cool thing about the Board Ape Yacht Club, right? That if you own one, you get the commercial rights to do whatever you want with it, as long as you don't mess with the image and as long as you don't use the Board Ape Yacht Club brand outside of how it may appear on your image. So if you can see on my hat, it says BAYC on it. So we can use that, but it has to be on the hat as it appears on the ape.
Right. Yeah, no, there's just, I mean, it's just overwhelming with stuff that's been happening. I mean, I haven't been able to breathe.
So, Fiddy, what about what about the apocalyptic apes? I don't remember reading this. Do people have the commercial license to do whatever they want with your apes?
Okay, so what I've done is I've pretty much told people they can do whatever they want because they own that ape. If they want to use the name, as long as we approve it, we're fine with that too. Like
So
I have a
we
guy in Australia who wants to put it on his weights and do a whole weight collection, call it Apocalyptic Apes. I'm totally fine with that.
right. Um, what do you think about what do you think about the new shape of the profile? The verified NFT on Twitter.
Okay, so I called Lavelli about this, and I talked to him about it, and he said, "Let's talk to people and see what they say, because I don't want somebody to be able to hack into my Twitter account, get to my wallet or something. Let's just make sure it looks okay." I kind of agree with him on this.
What Wait, what does he say?
That's exactly what he said.
Oh, you agree that more research needs to be done.
Yeah, it's so new, just came out today. I want to see what people say. Have you seen anybody use it?
Well, Joso, I'm going to invite up right now. Um, so he's got one. He's in here. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are really excited about it because, you know, this way we know, looking at Joso, that, you know, that's a verified NFT that's in his PFP. It means that he's not faking it, right?
But how do we know that by looking at it?
Well, I think if it's that shape, you know that he's using an NFT that has been verified. But I guess what's stopping me from just taking a screenshot, minting it, and then using it? You
That's
know?
what I'm saying. I don't understand. Like if I'm looking at his picture, I'm looking at yours, and I'm just looking right now. Like what? How do I know that his is verified and yours isn't?
Yeah, I'm a sellout.
Joso?
I had to do it.
I love that. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about technology and new stuff, but and I don't mind. But I just don't understand. I think if it worked with like something with like OpenSea or you have your Board Ape number on there, so you can actually verify it's a real image. But how can I possibly like what's different about yours than mine now?
So, I mean, the hexagon, I think, right? But Danny's right. You could just mint the same image, I think. I don't know if they're going to plan on doing something about that. It's still in
But I don't
labs. Uh,
shape of it. I didn't even realize this.
yeah, it's really just the shape you're getting.
I mean, I don't know. That doesn't excite me that much. How about you, Danny?
Look, I think that the idea of, you know, authenticating your Twitter profile, I think
Right.
is cool because there's so many times where like someone will follow me or I'll want to follow someone based on their profile pic, but I don't know if it's real. So then I click on their profile, I look at some of the stuff they posted, I look at their follower count. I try to get some signal to decide whether or not this person legitimately is part of a certain collection or not. And in a perfect world, if someone has an apocalyptic ape and it's verified and they have the hexagon, then I know.
But let me ask you a question. When you do this thing on Twitter, because I went to Blue Twitter, I was about to do it, but then Lavelli said, let's just hold back for a second. When you do that, do they ask you for your OpenSea number, for your rarity number? Do they verify that you own it, or how do you do it?
Well, you got to connect your wallet. So they do. I had to connect my ledger and then approve it, just like you would connecting to your wallet to like a mint site or anything else. So it does verify through some sort of, I don't know,
Well,
Web3
that
connect
makes,
or.
that makes me a
Hey,
little nervous. I don't want to connect my ledger to Twitter.
hey guys,
Sorry,
sorry,
one more time.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but can I throw something in there real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
When you click on someone who's gone through the verification process onto their profile, and you click on the actual image, it says view NFT details, and it actually connects to OpenSea where it shows you that it's in the actual Bored Ape Yacht Club. So it is connecting to that, and you are able to verify that it's in the correct collection and everything.
Oh,
You
I
know
see.
what? I'm
Oh,
doing
that's
that
cool.
right as you're saying that. I'm looking at that right
Yeah,
now.
just did that too,
Yeah,
as
I
you
just
said that.
noticed it.
But
It's
here's my question. If somebody figures out how to get through your Twitter, if somebody hacks your Twitter, can they hack into your wallet?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, I keep it in cold storage, so I don't think they can.
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah, they'd have to have the ledger and prove it all.
Right. It'd be a lot of work, but I don't like connecting. Do you?
Are you kidding me? I don't like leaving my house. I
Yeah.
don't like doing anything.
No.
I mean, I'm scared shitless. Of
Yeah.
course, I
Like
don't want to connect.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
even.
be very honest. I'm kind of a connecting slut. I connect to anything.
Hey, we're not going to connect shame you.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think that another part of the conversation that's happening is that this is not available outside of 4 countries right now. So most of the rest of the world, outside of the U.S. and 3 other countries, don't even have this option. So there's that's not cool. And also the fact that Twitter put this behind a paywall, $3 a month, I am able to pay $3 a month for this. There are a lot of people that, that is a lot more money than, and does this really need to be behind a paywall?
I,
Do we really want people who can't afford to pay the $3 a month to not be able to maybe look as legitimate as someone who does have the money?
right. Yeah. I don't like that either. Yeah. I think you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And
So
here's the other thing. Like, why do you have to do the connection? What I mean, it'd be an easier way to just put your. You just put your. I mean, you could just put your. Like, I have my name on my thing, so it says my name and my ape tank. At the end of the day, if somebody wants to verify, they can go and check it out.
yeah.
And my OpenSea got verified the other day. I don't know if I told you.
Oh, that's
My
amazing.
personal one, not my collection, but my VidEth got verified.
How did that get verified?
I don't know. Just woke up with a blue check mark. I think if you have enough volume, I think we have a lot of volume in Apocalyptic Apes. I think because it went through VidEth and they verified me. I don't know.
That's great. Look, I think getting verified on OpenSea is a big deal. I think getting verified on Twitter is a big deal. I think it adds to that credentialism and trust and credibility, and I think it's not everything, but it's something for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, I'm open to it. Like I said, I'm gonna definitely. I'm glad you guys brought it up. Because I'm glad I saw somebody used it. But I may have to become a connection slut too. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I'll tell you, I was nervous doing that stupid looks token the other day.
Oh yeah,
Did you
those
do it?
always sketch me out.
I just don't understand where it comes from. I don't know who drops it for me, but I just
Well, let me ask you this. So tell me about how you're doing staking. How did you figure out how it works? How is it going to work for the apes?
I spent 5 days with my dev on the phone. It's going to be through token, and I haven't released all the stuff, but we've actually gone through the whole thing. We've actually done it. It's going to be kind of like when you mutate the ape. It's going to connect the female and the queen ape and the apocalyptic ape, and that's literally going to make the babies right there, right? Like it'll just come out, and it's through rarities and properties.
Right, but I guess what I'm saying is,
Our work,
you said that. What's that? What's
What?
that, Fiddy?
I didn't say anything.
No. Oh, I guess what I'm confused about is, so you're gonna have a
Right.
token.
It's going to be called the bamboo token.
So the bamboo token, how does that work?
It's a whole process that I cannot come out with because we haven't revealed it to my community yet. But
Got it.
it's we will reveal the whole thing. But it's really cool. So basically, it'll be everything will be token based. So basically, the reason we chose bamboo is I didn't want to use bananas or anything else, and apes eat bamboo, so it'll be the boo token. So it'll be all token based. And my dev is ridiculous. I mean, his creativity is cool. I'll DM it to you if you want. But we haven't revealed it to our community as far as details because the minute you say something, you get 6,000 questions.
Right.
Last night I was saying that I don't really I eat lobster that much anymore because I was at a friend's house 3 years ago and we were cooking lobster and I heard them like squeal and it was it looked painful. I just, you know what I mean? I couldn't eat that after. So I actually have 30 DMs telling me how they don't eat lobster or the lobsters don't have vocal cords. So I'm afraid to say anything these days. Have your DMs been crazy?
They have been, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
It's, look, I think that there was a lot of extra buzz around, around our project, this past weekend. And yeah, it's a little bit out of control in that it's just a lot more than I'm used to.
Yeah.
And DMs on Twitter, text, WhatsApp, Telegram, email, other email. But I think what I'm seeing is people want to do partnerships. People want to figure out how to help out. People have questions. People have ideas. People are like, hey, you said this thing on a Twitter space, and I think you pronounced this person's name incorrectly, and it,
Yeah.
everything under the sun. And I think we've done it. I think we've reached the first milestone,
Yeah.
and now it's about us really explaining to our whole community, our supporters, our haters, and anyone who cares to listen, what we plan to do now. And so tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m. PST, we're going to be walking through our roadmap with our community in Discord. So Andy, who goes by Waterboy, also June's son, he's on stage. Um, and Andy, I guess before you kind of tell everyone what that's about tomorrow, let's go ahead and retweet this room. See if we can get a few more people in here from the community. Brandon, Brandy, what's the best way to do that? Should we use the tweet that you pinned?
I just followed you, Waterboy.
Yeah, we're gonna pin the spaces right now.
Okay, great. So once that gets pinned, I'm going to ask everyone in the room to retweet, add some friends, and the giveaway. We're not going to we're not going to start announcing that we're going to be doing big giveaways anymore. We're just going to let you know when you're in the room. So the giveaway that we're going to do tonight, if the space gets over 150 people, is we're going to be sending you a merch kit. So all of the people that minted founders passes, Fiddy, that includes you.
Ooh.
You're going to be getting a merch kit sent in the next couple of weeks, which includes a limited run T-shirt for Nomad Boulevard. It includes 2 JPEG dog tags, and it also includes a sticker pack.
Okay,
It also includes
I'm just
what's that?
coming to your house tomorrow and picking it up.
and it also includes a signed card. Actually, let me double check with Isabelle. Does it include a signed card? Isabelle? Bueller? It
Yes.
may or may not include an autographed Nomad card from Isabelle as well. So that's going out to all the people with founders passes, but it's also going to be going out to the winner of the contest tonight. So we don't want to get too crazy, but if everyone can go up to that pinned tweet, retweet it. I'm going to do it right now and add a few friends in there. Ideally, not friends that are already in the space. That would be great. And I'm just going to say that
You guys are going to be here for a little bit, right? Because
we are.
I need to
Yeah,
eat
come
some
back.
food. I'm going to come back, but I wanted to ask you a question. So I know I minted a lot of things. Do I need to do anything else, or am I good?
You don't need to do anything else. A week from tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
you can exchange your founders passes for the Nomads. So we're going to be
Oh.
doing a big reveal party next Friday.
Oh, cool. I'm coming to
So
your house to do it.
Sure. Come hang out with my kids and do the whole thing.
Dude, you know I will. You know, they can play with my kids. No, but
Yeah, we still got it. We got to do a play date.
yeah,
That's
sure.
for those of
But
you who don't have kids. When you have young kids, you call it a play date. Okay, bye, Fiddy. Come back.
back in about 30 minutes.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
All right, bye. All right, so just to say that one more time, if you can go up to the pin tweet, retweet it, add some friends. When we do the contest giveaway for the merch package, we'll make sure to pick someone who's in the room and who did that. And I just want to say what's up to some people in the room. If you're not following Jake already, Jake Nordstrom, this is a super crazy, talented artist that's been in the space for a while now. Easily someone that we would have spoken to about Nomad Boulevard, and hopefully we'll be able to get him involved in the next phase. Senator Greaves, we've got Gabe Leonard. Gabe, by the way, I hope we get you up here a little bit later tonight. Congratulations on selling out all of your stuff. That is so unbelievable. Check out Manu and Mufasa. There's someone that goes by Olioi. Really, his name is Abel, from Mexico. We've got Dream Squiggles, who's got stuff on OpenSea as well. Go check that out. And just blown away with the creativity of this community already. We're doing a contest in our Discord where if you do a derivative of our nomads, and we haven't even done the reveal yet, right? But if you do your version of the nomad, we're going to be giving away a prize. And I'm not exactly sure how we're picking yet. I'm not exactly sure what the prize is. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. But first, I want to go to Waterboy Andy to talk a little bit about what's going on tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST.
Yo, can you hear me?
Perfectly.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, let's talk about tomorrow. First, though, can we talk about the Nikki Diamond drop? And can I publicly call you out for a request that you get us a gold dog tag made by Nikki?
Yeah.
Before next week.
Okay, so let me do this. While you're explaining what that is, let me just look for the tweet really quick so I can pin it. One sec. I'll be right back.
Great way of not answering that question.
I think that was a yes. We'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, we'll take that as a yes. So yeah, cool. So tomorrow, we'll have a call with the community in Discord. It'll be the first for us. We'll probably need to figure out if we can try to get that hooked up with Twitter. But it's it's gonna be a little formal. It's gonna be kind of awkward, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna feel kind of weird about it. We want to talk about the art. We want to talk about the community. We want to talk about the roadmap, and we want to talk about the DAO. So one of the big things that we haven't spent a lot of time on for a lot of the right reasons is what we want to do with the community around a DAO. So we kind of coming up through this project, we saw a lot of big successes like Bored Apes and VFriends, and we saw a lot of different approaches to IP, and we saw a lot of different approaches to how to reward your community members. And we wanted to try to do it a little bit more progressively. So about halfway through the project, we realized that we wanted to become a DAO. And our lawyers at the time said, look, sell the art, make it art, use the art event to attract the right kind of people you want to bring into your community. And then after Nomad Boulevard is sold out of the art, then let's get started building the DAO. So tomorrow, that's what we're going to talk about. I mean, at the end of the day, what a DAO is intended to do, what a DAO enables is effectively a shared treasury. I mean, for lack of a real specific thing, it's when we can legit all share purse. You don't just DAO. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Like, we're not just going to throw a big pot of money and then immediately start voting on that. Like, we got to kind of grow as a community and figure out how we all can work together. But our hopes are by this summer we can really get this community kind of fully contributing and um, you know, growing together and kind of all of us incentivized together. I don't know if there's other people that have, there's a lot of other projects out there that are going at this. So you got, Rug Radio, you've got Azuki, you got Punk's Comic, who's not a good example at the moment, but there's a lot of ways that you can, incentivize and kind of bring value back to the community. And, we're excited to start that journey and start to experiment. Fiddy brought up tokens, certainly part of the equation, but the tokens are just a means to an end.
I think that for me anyway, and we've been talking about this for months, Andy. I think that it's still hard for me to wrap my head around what a DAO is, and even when we talk about it, and I know what we're doing, I know what it's made of and what the purpose is, but it's still tough for me to articulate and explain. So I think we should spend a little bit more time on it now, and we'll definitely spend more time on it tomorrow. I was in a room 3 nights ago called the Late Night Degens, and there was this. This was like at 3 in the morning, and there was this person that was like, basically these exact words, was saying like, fuck any project that claims that they're going to build a DAO. It's just a buzzword. Like I just remember thinking to myself, like, we need to really communicate this, and even when we do, a lot of people are not going to fully get it. I've explained this to a bunch of people in my circle, my friends and family, and it's really tough. And the way that I've been able to communicate it in a way that lands the best, and then I want to pass it over to Andy or Joso or anyone who can speak more to this, is, think about think about an organization like a sports franchise. And let's use the Los Angeles Lakers because I live in LA. Right now, when you buy a ticket to the Lakers game, you get to go to the game, you get to watch the game and have an experience. You tell some people on Twitter, Instagram that you went to the game. You can buy merch. You're a fan. You feel part of the Laker Nation, and then you go home and you go on with your life the next day. With the DAO, instead of just buying a ticket to go to the game, you are buying a ticket to go to the game, and you're going to have the ability to vote on what players the Lakers seek out for next season, or what the design of the Lakers jersey should be, or where you want the Lakers to donate their profits from an event one night, which charity they should start working with, or any number of things. So I think when you think of DAO, at least this is how I think of it. And Andy, tell me if I'm thinking about this the wrong way, because I know you're on our team. You're the one leading the charge on the DAO. It's basically a way for me to have a voice in the direction of the community that I'm a part of. And that's the first piece. And then the second piece is, as the Lakers organization grows and builds, there's a way that I'm going to benefit from that. And I don't really know how to talk about that or articulate that piece yet, because I think we're so early in the space. Am I thinking about it the right way?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's all about shared ownership. I mean, to get really specific about it, what a DAO, the construct of a DAO is that there is no leadership. So when you're in a properly formed working DAO, there's no person that's at the top. It's community decisions. Where there's this guy named Ray Dalio who has a really big financial company. His whole business operations is focused on this concept of meritocracy, and it's really about letting the best ideas come to the top. So we're just trying to bring that into reality in a way that is structured. One of the people that we'll hopefully introduce Friday is Ben. He's actually new to the community. And when we sold out, he raised his hand and he said, "Hey, I see what you're doing with DAO and I'd love to help." He's been over at Links DAO, kind of helping get them all organized. So for the last week, he's been, working really closely with us to help just get some structure and get some of the early thinking on the voting mechanics and the different formats to do that. For those that don't know, Links DAO was a project that kind of went to market as a DAO. Their intent was to go buy golf courses and like build their own golf community. And so they, for them, they went straight into DAO, which is what I was saying is really hard to do. But because they had to go so hot and heavy so fast, Ben's going to be a great asset in helping us just kind of evolve the right way. I was talking with another really big DAO the other day. I think one of the things that'll be really interesting is because we're such a diverse community. I mean, we got, people on Twitter, we got people on Discord, we've got a lot of people that are, still Instagram and email. At the end of the day, to get the best results as a community and represent the diverse kind of points of view where people are is going to be to try to grab signal everywhere we can go, which is not an easy feat. One of the DAOs I was talking to, which has got $50 or $60 million in capital that they invest, even they only go like they had to lower their standards down to 10% of a vote. So in order for a vote to get passed, that had only 10% of the community had to give a voice on it. And that's mainly because it's just, people have lives and they need questions asked in different places. So it'll be a fun journey. I'm committed to this as like a new way of doing business, like full stop. I mean, that's why I left my job of 15 years in a pretty well established corporation, because this is the way that businesses will move. I'm fucking hell bent on it. So I'm excited to go through the journey with everybody. It's going to be, all of the best intentions, and we'll experiment a little bit. But you've got my, commitment to help get smart minds around us to do this the right way.
And also, I think something that is really clear, or if it's not clear, we want to help make it as clear as possible. We spent the last 6 months round the clock, a really committed team of almost 15 people, and that's not including people that have helped out in other ways from the community. And we got to last weekend and we sold our project out, and here we are, talking about how we're going to try to build something that's going to stand the test of time. That's the thing that I want to communicate the most to everyone here, that we built something to last, and we're going to go about it in a way that gives the community of artists and collectors and people that have been supporting us, a piece of this, a vote, a voice, direction, and more. And I think that is pretty unbelievable. This isn't technically it's an art project, but it's going to be so much more. And I don't know if everyone here is familiar with Soho House. I use this as an example all the time because I think it's so interesting. I think we're going to be able to do something that is very similar, but very different. So I just want to talk about that for a second. And also, looks legit. I don't know if you raised your hand to come up, but if you want to come up on stage and have be a part of this convo, we're happy to bring you up. Just request to come up here again. So Soho House has been around for 25 years. It's a private membership club. It was founded in the UK. And the reason why it was founded is because there was this other club called the Groucho Club in London. And the Groucho Club, it was this really, swanky, but kind of, grimy club in London where some of the top creatives and minds in London, were able to get together. But it was very exclusive, and not everyone, and I'm probably butchering the story a little bit, but because every time I hear it, I'm like 3 beers, deep in at a pub in London. But basically it was very exclusive, and they stopped giving out memberships to the club. And so a lot of the artists in London who either didn't have the money to get in, or didn't know anyone, they said, you know what, let's build a place for us. And so literally they created Soho House, and it was across the street from the Groucho Club, and it was a place for the creatives, the artists, to come together, who weren't able to get into this kind of higher brow, more elite circle. And now fast forward 25 years, there are Soho houses all over the world. They're very up, they're upscale. It's not cheap. Drinks are like $17. It's a whole different thing now, and there's exclusivity. You can't take any pictures there. But when you're there, like, it's definitely a vibe. They've got amazing artwork. The food is great. There's networking. It's an experience, and I go because when I have clients that are in from out of town, I take them there. It's fun. They're able to see a view of LA, and but what I've realized is the real value of Soho House, aside from this kind of perception of being elite or being somebody, or the exclusivity that comes with it, the cachet. It's really a physical location that you can go to. You go to a Soho house, you eat dinner, you have a drink, you hang out there, and that's really what it is. Now, when you're there, maybe you network with other people and you meet some people and you have meetings, but it feels like a very isolated experience when I go with the people that I go there with. And I just happen to be at a place with other people that are in an isolated situation at the same place, which is fine. I'm a member, I get it. There's some cool people that work there. I've had a great experience, whatever. But in this new metaverse, in this new kind of world that we're all living in the NFT space, um, this is new. This is different. I mean, there are 33 people in this room, and I'm talking into a phone. I'm looking at circles of JPEGs. Like, what are we doing here?
And hexagons.
Yeah, and hexagons. We'll see. We'll see if we're going to acknowledge hexagons. I don't know. We'll see. But I guess my point is, we're all here because this is where we are hanging out right now. And we're all together in this room because there's a common thread. You're either here because of Nomad, you're here because you're an artist, you're here because you want to know what's going on in here. And all of us are starting to get to know each other. We're building relationships. I've never met Jake in person. I've never met Senator Greaves in person. And yet there's a bond for sure. When I meet Senator Greaves, like, we're going to talk for an hour. Like, first time I talk to Jake, I'm going to be like, and we've met in this space. So, like, where's the Soho house of Twitter? Or where's the Soho house of the creative community, the artists in the Twitter spaces and Discords in the NFT space? And the answer is there isn't one yet. We're developing one, we're forming one, we're bringing existing communities and friends and partners and artists together. But I think that as we go forward with this DAO, if all of you have an opportunity to participate in the direction of this and the upside of this, then I think we build something way more special than what I've experienced at Soho House. And it can be something really long lasting. And the last thing I'll say before I pass this over to someone else is, um, you know, I look at some of the people in this room that I know are artists. And I know the goal for these artists is to sell their art and to tell their stories and to grow and to network and to be in galleries and to get drops. And, it's very clear. Artists want their art to get out into the world, and they want to make money selling their art, and they want to, be artists full time. And I think we are cultivating a community where we can help to make some of that stuff happen. Um, that's my goal here. That's really why I got into the NFT space in the first place, was helping my best friend who was an artist. That's why we started Nomad Boulevard, because I met Isabelle and I wanted to help her get into the NFT space, and then we wanted to help other artists break in and thrive. But we can't do that transactionally. It can't just be a transaction. It can't just be, we're having a Twitter space, we're going to bring in a bunch of whales, look at all of these artists and buy their shit. That's not, it can't just be like that. There has to be something more. We have to help each other out. And that is really what has fueled this and what continues to fuel the second phase. We have Isabelle up here. We have Joso up here. Brandy and Brandon, who do all things social for us, are behind the Nomad Boulevard host logo. Andy's up here. So a lot of people from the Nomad team are here. Anyone want to weigh in on that or add to what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just want to add a little bit. I guess is you did a great job kind of bringing everyone together. Like you said, it can't be transactional. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but Mr. Melty, he's a guy who had no idea really what an NFT was before we reached out to him. We just really liked his art on Instagram, and he's next week releasing his first NFT, which I think is just super exciting. He called me up. We had a whole discussion on kind of roadmap and game plan for him. And like you said, it was more just like a conversation with a friend, a guy that I've never actually met in person, all online. Just been a fan of his work, and now that we're kind of helping him get into the space, release his first NFT. Super excited for him, but I think that's a good example of just one of the cool things Nomad Blvd is doing for the space.
I love that. I have something to comment on that, but Isabelle, Brandon, anything you want to say? No pressure. Actually, pressure. You have to. Actually, no pressure.
No, I think you've brought up a lot of good points, and I think a lot of what you said, was clear to us even when you brought us on the project a couple months ago, is that there's a lot of this has to do with the intent, from the core. And you guys have not, no one on the team has really, gone off the rails from that, and the intent has always been in the right place. One other thing that you guys did that even, there's so many newcomers. I think a lot of what's happening right now is obviously so new from the artist side, the collector side, just people who are, seeing a lot of news about NFTs. In the Discord, there's a section that's, wallet security. NFT 101, and not just, like you said, it's not about just having the whales in the room and just hyping up the project all day every day, but really trying to educate people on not just what we're doing as Nomad Blvd, but what's actually going on in the NFT space as a whole. And really just making sure to take care of the community as best we possibly can, which I think is really awesome.
100%. Yeah, we're going to be kind of optimizing our Discord, adding channels, removing channels. If you haven't spent any time in our Discord, definitely go check that out. Um, Also, I know we're doing something right. We're not doing everything perfectly, but I know we're doing something right when I'm in one of these spaces, someone else is talking, and when someone else is talking, I listen and I just scroll and I click on people's PFPs and I just start checking out their profiles. The one that I was checking out, I'm just going to start following now. And apologies if I mispronounce your name, Jeremy. Um, Everyone go check out Jeremy's artwork. This is kind of a style that I haven't really seen in the space yet. Really, really cool. So, Jeremy, if you want to come up a little bit later once we start inviting people up on stage, would love to say hello and have you talk a little bit about your artwork.
Or your cat, because your cat looks really cute too.
Yeah, very, very cool. Also, so 3min X. I'm pretty sure 3min won something in one of our spaces. But you have to check out 3min X's PFP. It's their derivative of the Nomad, like Cyborg. I would love for 3min X to come up as well. And oh yeah, 3min X won the Claire Salvo dollar bill, I think. So yeah, would love to have a couple of you come up a little bit later. I wanted to say one comment about Joso. So yeah, Mr. Melty called me too, Joso, and it just this person was not in the NFT space at all, and now they're going to be releasing a bunch of stuff and networking, and yeah, really excited about that. All right, so for those of you who are new in the room, if you can please go up to the pinned tweet where it says join us tonight at 8 p.m. If we get a certain amount of followers, I said 150, but I still want to give it away. If we can get up to, let's say, 100 people, we're going to give away a merch kit, which comes with a limited run Nomad Blvd t-shirt and 2 gold JPEG dog tags. And it also comes with a Nomad Blvd sticker pack. And this is actually something that we're already sending to people that bought our Founders Pass about a month ago. But we're also going to include you in that as well. So Just make sure to go up there, retweet at some people, and make sure you're following Nomad Boulevard, and you may win. Also, tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, we're going to be going through on our Discord our whole roadmap. So everything that we're going to be doing now that Nomad Boulevard is sold out, and we've got the reveal happening, we're going to be going through the roadmap and explaining, what the hell we're going to do now, which is a lot. And yeah, please make sure you join us. There's going to be a lot of information and alpha and beta, and is that a thing? Has anyone called information that isn't quite alpha beta?
I love it.
So, Jeremy, again, not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I'm going to add you up on stage.
Yo.
Hey, so this is Jeremy, but it's pronounced Jeremy. Weird spelling, but traditional name.
Amazing.
First off,
Jeremy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for the kind words about my work, and my trusty cat Khaleesi is right here next to me while I'm at the drawing table.
Nice.
Love them.
Yeah, basically, I am a 100% noob to the NFT space. So obviously, I've heard a lot of talk about it in the media, but I've never had a chance to really dig deeply into it. And actually, I kind of came to this particular thread by way of a friend of Gabe Leonard's, Chet Zar. I'm a subscriber to his podcast, and he's had Gabe Leonard on before to talk about NFTs, and he's talked about it. And in one of the most recent episodes, they said, just start following people in the space. So, I mean, I just happened to see this thread in terms of a few people that were under the NFT hashtag, and I just started following and listening. When I saw that you had a live talk going on, I thought, let me just come in and just hear, because I really, I understand the blockchain technology, and I understand that artists are minting them, but I have no actual connection to the community yet. So this is my real first contact with the NFT community right now. And I just was like, sitting here listening to you guys. I'm actually at my drawing table sketching right now. I'm a comic book artist, mostly as my personal work. My full-time job, I'm a toy designer. So I'm lucky that I'm working in a space where I get to do something creative for a living. But I think, like most creatives, my greater ambition is to just create something that inspires other people and find a way to create value, but live off of the value that I'm creating.
Love that. By the way, since this is your first connection into the NFT space, literally, everyone smile. I'm going to take a quick picture. 1, 2, 3. All right, great. I just took a screenshot. Thanks for smiling, everyone. Jeremy, don't worry. I'm totally kidding. I literally am just taking a screenshot of JPEGs, but I'm really, really happy that you tuned in. What I can tell you is this, and I've said this many times. I've been in the NFT space for about 18 months, which in the NFT space is like, kind of a long time. But the difference between what I've been able to pick up over the last 18 months and what you've picked up so far, you're gonna make it. Keep joining these spaces, keep asking questions, start DMing people that, you have something in common with, start building relationships, and you're going to pick it up really quickly. And then in terms of bringing your art and your design and your creativity into the space, I really recommend connecting with other artists like Jake Nordstrom or Senator Greaves or Allison Baumkat. I'm just naming some people in the room, Luther Brown. DM them and see if you can start jumping on calls with other artists that have successfully sold NFTs in the space. And they can really, kind of make sure that you don't make any mistakes that they might have made coming in. Also, just so you know, Nomad Boulevard, we're an NFT project, a company and a community. And we're focused on helping artists break into the NFT space and thrive. So there are lots of different communities, there are lots of different artists, lots of different circles, but this is definitely one that you are welcome in, and we'd love to have you be a part of this.
Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate the pointers. I already started following several of the artists in here, so I look forward to finding out more and just getting neck deep in the community. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And do me a favor. No pressure to speak up or anything, but if you want to stay on stage for a little bit as we bring up some other people, if you have any questions or someone says something that you don't get or uses an NFT buzzword or something, just unmute, ask a question, and we'll try to fast track your 101.
That sounds great. Thank you so much. I'll stay on.
All right, sounds good. I'm actually not going to invite anyone up tonight. If you want to come up, just request, and depending on how many people request, I'll just bring some people up. But let me just go over to Brandy and Brandon. What else do we have on our agenda to go over tonight?
Yeah, so I think there's a couple things. If you want to bring up the Tokyo Punks and what the amazing Sabit is doing for the Nomad community.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those things that we've talked about early on about, for founders, collectors, just people that join the Boulevard. As time goes on, there's obviously a lot of perks that come up, and this is definitely one of them.
So, for those of you who don't know Ali Sabit, he is one of the highest grossing, best-selling, most influential NFT artists in the space. He's one of Nomad Boulevard's 15 featured artists. I don't think he sleeps. I don't think he has ever slept. I think he just works and creates and networks and mints and does all of that. He's been a huge
Yeah, he's like an
supporter.
ethereal being. He kind of just is.
That's right. Yeah. I've seen him in person though, so he does exist. He's not like AI or anything, but definitely a rare individual. And he's working on a project called the Tokyo Punks. And similar to Isabelle's work for Nomad, everything was hand done. This isn't a generative collection of stickers or anything. Like he hand digitally painted all of the assets. And basically, to get on the pre-sale list, if you own a Nomad Boulevard NFT, you're automatically eligible to get on the pre-sale list. If you go to, and I think we'll pin this, right? We'll
Yep,
go ahead
it's
and
up
pin
there.
it. Okay, great.
It's
So
in
if
the
you
link.
go up there and click on the form that you have to fill out, there's a section there for Nomad Boulevard. And as long as you have a Nomad, you can get on the pre-sale list. So, we can talk about that a little bit more. Maybe he'll come in and talk about it a little bit later. And, that's another thing for all of the 15 artists for Nomad, as each of them continue to work on their own projects, whether it's one-of-one art or their own generative series or, collaborations with other artists. We want to find any and every way possible to promote that. And, I think that's something special about Nomad. We're gonna find ways of bringing as much attention and noise to the stuff that you're working on as possible, and that also includes artists that weren't in our first feature collection. One of the things that we don't know yet, we're going to be talking a lot about as a community over the coming weeks and months, is our phase two. Our next Nomad Boulevard collection, who the featured artists are going to be. Are we going to do it the same way we did it in 1.0? Are we going to do something different? Are we going to include photographers and music artists? So we have a lot of thinking there. And the funny thing about this space is even when you think you know exactly what you want to do in a next phase, it's impossible to anticipate all of the changes and shifts and evolution of the industry. So the world looked different when we started this. It looked different 2 months ago. It looked different 3 days ago. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we want to rely on all of you in the community to help us, make some of these decisions. So on that note, let's see. Jordan, are you still driving?
Nope, I'm here.
So tell us a little bit about what's been on your plate in the NFT space this week.
Oh man, do you want to hear a horror story?
Well, does it involve anything that is bad for Nomad?
No, no, not at all. I'll tell
Then
you a
yes, I want to.
personal NFT horror story. So the last couple of weeks I've been I've been deganing out. I'm not gonna lie. I got into one of these groups with like our other buddy Conrad, Leon, and they've been talking about all these projects. So I decided to ape into one of these projects, and I minted like 15. And I got really scared because that's my biggest thing I've ever really whaled into like that or aped into. And I minted 15. I figured I'll be smart and not be such a deegan and flip pre-reveal most of them, right? To get some money back and then hold a couple. So I did. I don't usually do this, but I looked in my history, right? I went back and decided to say, like, oh, what would I got? I sold the number one rarest one in the collection pre-reveal.
Wait, which one is this?
It's called Undead Pastel Apes. So it's just like one of those. Yeah, and I had the number one. It was really cool looking too. I probably would have just held it. The number one rarest one in the collection, and it sold for 10 ETH yesterday. Yeah.
Wow. Well, why don't you also tell the story of the fluffs and which one you got there?
That was also kind of crazy that so the fluffs, I minted the fourth rarest one. God, I sound like an asshole.
So
I got 100 ETH offer on that the other day, and I told the guy to kick rocks. I think it's worth way more than that.
and it's just unbelievable. Like this is the wild thing about the space,
It's like I hit the lottery twice. The fact that I minted it's like I hit the lottery and threw it all away. Gave it to someone before I knew I hit it.
Unreal, Joso. So YVR Trader just came into the room, and Leon, I would love to ask you a couple of questions about the Hexa Twitter. If you're up for coming up on stage and talking for a little bit, just request to come up here. And also, Jake, I haven't spoken to you yet on stage. If you want to come up and hang out for a little bit, no pressure at all. Would love to have you come up. And also, Eric Kerbelling, 3MinX. I'm just naming some names in the crowd. Mr. Melty, if anyone wants to come up and hang out with us, would love to talk art. All right, Leon's coming up. So basically, Leon, something that we were talking about before you joined the room was whether or not to connect your wallet and turn your PFP into a hexagon. And there's a lot of controversy is a big word, but there are mixed reviews to say the least. What are your thoughts on what Twitter is doing? Do you think it's good for the space? Do you think it's bad for the space? Are you going to do it? Or do you recommend that everyone else does it or not do it?
Oh, good question. I mean, I've just started looking at it. I mean, I see you have to be Twitter Blue, so you got to be a subscriber. So they're kind of it's Twitter's way of forcing people into paying for a subscription to get this. So I just don't like the fact that they're kind of forcing people to pay for a subscription in order to get this verified NFT. So that kind of rubs me the wrong way. I have a similar type verified thing through name tags. So name tags, an add-on that you can add, and as long as you're using your Chrome browser, you can use a verified NFT. So it kind of does a similar thing that
But
Twitter
they
is
need
doing.
to have name tag as well, right? For it to display their
Correct.
NFT.
They do. But it's just nice that I can display my NFTs directly on Twitter. But I'm sure Twitter's going to do something to screw that up because you can see that they're coming in heavy into the space. Twitter now has their own NFT account. I don't know if you guys have seen it on OpenSea. Yeah, so they're trading NFTs actively in the space now.
Unreal.
So cool.
And basically 6 months ago, I could not find anyone in my world who had even heard of an NFT 6 months ago. And now, granted, I'm in the NFT space, so it's a little bit more common for me to talk NFTs with a lot of people, but everyone I talk to is talking about NFTs. whether they're all in or they know nothing about it, but know that they need to know about it. Like the groundswell is like nothing I've ever seen. Um, it's really wild what's happening. Like YVR, what do you think about what's happening in the space right now in terms of the floodgates opening and more people coming in?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be pretty epic. I mean, we've all kind of been talking about the Coinbase NFT platform dropping, and then the news with Coinbase partnering up with Mastercard. So, I mean, anybody and everybody's going to be able to buy an NFT because if you have a credit card or Mastercard, you can now buy one. So, it's going to be really interesting. I mean, yeah, the floodgates are going to be opening, and uh, we can only speculate how many people are actually going to buy, but it's going to be a hell of a lot more than the 800,000 to a million active users we have on OpenSea. So it's
Well,
all going to
Leon,
be about supply and demand, I think. So.
if you, and really quick before we go to looks, if you could just tell me exactly what's going to happen in the future, that would be helpful to me, so that I can just make investments according to what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, no
And since you
problem.
can,
I'll
okay,
DM you. I'll DM you. Yeah.
okay, great. Yeah, just you can see the future clearer than most, and um, I'd like to follow your lead. Really quick looks before we go to you. Another thing I wanted to mention is a little bit of inside Nomad Boulevard info, some alpha. It's not really alpha. It's just kind of like this is some stuff that's going on behind the scenes that
Some beta.
yes, beta. Yeah, Leon, is that tacky that I came up with the name beta for stuff
I
that isn't
love
quite
it.
alpha?
It's cool. I can run with it.
It's
Okay,
kind of
cool.
funny, Danny.
Because of the
Hi.
supermarket.
Uh, no, it's just funny. Like, I don't even really know what beta means, except that it's like the opposite of alpha somehow, and alpha male, and blah blah blah. And I've always thought of my character as kind of like a beta character because it's like soft and squishy and comforting and like not alpha. So
That's hilarious.
it's like, yeah, it's like the friend you want in your circle, like the loyal kind of like dependable squishy guy who's going to be there for you no matter what. So
Maybe like the Nomad community, we just start saying beta instead of alpha. It's like, hey, do you want that beta?
I
Yeah.
was just
yeah,
about to say, I think
I'm
we need to
beta all the
do a
way. I say let's we're going to be beta
Yeah.
nomad now.
Because alpha's so
no more
dense too.
alpha,
It's like
only
calm
beta.
down.
But beta and I mean in trading options, beta is a measurement of volatility in the market. So we use that. It just measures volatility.
Oh, that's not exactly good, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, volatility can mean going up too.
Sure
I guess
Oh,
can.
okay.
here's the thing, right? You know, I think that our nomad is definitely beta, like a beta male, a beta female, a beta person. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe our alpha is called beta. And when someone says, "Oh, what's that?" we're like, "Oh, it's basically alpha." Okay, all right. I think we just coined a phrase in this room tonight. But let me just give you some beta. So we are meeting. So Nomad Boulevard has a meeting next week with what will be one of the major NFT platforms in the space. We've met with two major talent agencies this week in Hollywood, and we have another call happening tomorrow with the other big agency. I'm not going to name any names, but you know, Google it. And we're hoping that in the next few weeks, we're going to be able to start shouting about some of these things. So we never like to give updates and overpromise and underdeliver, but we definitely are hard at work and speaking to a lot of people, trying to make sure that Nomad is going to be a very shiny destination for people that are like-minded and people that will be able to provide value to the community. So a little bit of beta. And looks, I know you had your hand up. I totally forgot what you were talking about when you raised your hand, so I hope you haven't forgotten.
No, I didn't forget, and thanks for letting me come up for a minute. So I have two comments. Number one, you guys were talking earlier about how great Nomad is for artists, and I totally agree. I I think what's maybe being overlooked, though, from a collector standpoint, is that this is, at the end of the day, it's kind of a PFP project, right? It's like a generative PFP project. What's interesting to me, though, getting in the Nomad, and just from my perspective, is that I've wanted to get into one-of-one artists, and I don't really know where to go to get into one-of-one art. I mean, I own a Wes Henry and I have a Mealer, but other than that, I don't have a lot of resources. My circle is not one-on-one artist. And I'm hoping through Nomad, though, I learn a lot more about one-on-one artists, right? And I think you guys have an opportunity as a community to start bridging that gap from a lot of people who are in, the 10K projects that do want to move over. They just have no idea how to move over into collecting one-on-one art, whether it's photography or digital or, oil paintings that have been scanned in. So I hope you guys keep that in mind too. And you're trying to do a lot of education in the server. And I think it'd be really cool if you start eventually, bridging that gap as well for people who are thinking, how do I get into collecting one-on-ones?
I know a lot of us are going to want to, weigh in on that. But I'll start. Totally, totally, totally agree with you. And I think probably the reason why I don't refer to Nomad as a PFP project or a generative project, even though it absolutely is and started out that way, is because it's really turned into the NFTs just being the token to enter in. Um, because we have the 15 featured artists that are all one-of-one artists, it's really like leaned in that direction, bringing awareness to Gavin Mealer and to Mr. Melty and Claire Salvo, etc., the exact same way that you're talking about. I guess I've just never described it that way. And I think that's really interesting. Kind of if you want to start collecting one-of-one art from artists in the space, and you've entered in the space maybe through hearing about the collectibles, we can be a gateway. We can be a place to go and discover artists and help people figure out how to start investing. I haven't really thought about it described that way, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
come to the Boulevard to get the one-on-one art.
Yeah.
Looks.
The only.
Can you do
Sorry,
me a
go on.
favor? Yeah, I was just gonna ask. Can you kind of like I believe you have mint passes, right?
Yeah, I have 5.
Amazing. That's so awesome. And Wes Henry. I mean, he's the person he's the reason I'm in the space. I mean, he's one of my closest friends and one of my favorite artists. And you also said you collected Mealer. So can you just tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the space? Give us a little bit of some looks beta.
Yeah, sure. Easy. I was watching NFTs early in 2021 and kind of brushing it off and not paying too much attention, but I'd seen like some big people talking about it, Gary Vee and Mark Cuban. And so it was on my radar, but it wasn't until midsummer this past summer where I started seeing the big sales happen. And then it really started catching my attention, which I think is how a lot of people, especially if they're not artists, come into the space. It's, first transactional, right? That's like your first thought. It's like, wow, what's going on there? And how do I get in on it? I was already doing some crypto, so I was familiar with the blockchain and, dealing with crypto and Ethereum. So I came in July and this story is going to sound so familiar, but I did what most people do. I just started jumping into everything, right? And just anything that was trending on Twitter. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no circles yet of connections or friends. And so I just started aping into stuff and I lost a ton of money. I didn't initially, but eventually the liquidity pulled out of that project and moved into the next project and I followed suit. And I come from a background in marketing. I actually own a marketing company. I have for the last 12 years. I'm based out of Phoenix, Arizona. And my marketing brain, though, started kicking in rather quickly. Like, all right, so, the project flipping's cool, but I also want to get into, marketing somehow in this space. And so simultaneously as I was becoming a collector and a flipper, I decided I wanted to create a promo account. It was like the one way I saw myself getting into the space without knowing anybody, but I wanted to do it right. I saw the fake giveaway accounts out there, and I was like, well, we're going to create something legit, and I'm going to do real giveaways. And if the project rugs the giveaway, then I'll just give them ETH out of my pocket, or I'll give them NFTs out of my own collection just to keep the reputation going. And so I built that up. But the main reason I did that, though, wasn't because I wanted to do giveaways. I wanted to meet project owners and I wanted to kind of get behind the scenes. And so I knew if I built that and I started getting traction, the project owners would come to me. And so that just turned into its own deal. And from there, I got deep into a lot of communities, became a holders in, Fame Ladies and Maury's and some other projects that were successful or not. And now I've worked with a lot of projects, so it's been a lot of fun. So I spent the last couple months advising on projects, whether it be working with them on how to market and understanding how the psychological aspects of marketing, even though marketing in Web3 is totally different than marketing in Web2. So long story short, that's kind of in my space here. I'm actually a lead marketer and project advisor on a new project that's going to be launching and kind of going heavy next week. I just am also joining another team as a strategic advisor. But Nomad came across my radar. I don't know. I don't even know how somehow. Probably like somebody like Wes or Gavin or somebody tweeted about it. Like, if you hold one of our pieces, you can get in this project. And then that's how I got into Nomad. So that's kind of, there's a lot more to that story, but that's like 7 months condensed for you and kind of my background in the NFT space. And I think the best part though for me has really been this last 2 months. My circle's gotten, I've curated a really great circle of collectors and founders and people like, you talk about the DM people at any time. And just like you guys can call each other, I've built that relationship too. And I think you don't really start finding your place in the NFT market until you find those people that you can do it with. And so now, I feel like I'm in a different place in the NFT market than I was just a couple months ago, just from a passion standpoint and really seeing a future in this space, whether it's as an advisor or as a collector. So that's kind of my background.
It's so interesting. I could have stopped you like 15 times during that background to ask you different questions at different points along the past 7 months. Um, Something that I've realized is that this NFT space isn't, going to Mars and learning Martian and becoming like, a Martian rock collector, right? It's a new space. There are new fundamentals. There's there's a new way of thinking about community and business, but the same fundamentals of business function from Web 2 apply in Web 3, right? So I do partnerships and business development and strategy and relationships, and I apply all of my experience and lack thereof to the NFT space, right? There are artists that have been doing street murals and all different types of art that are now figuring out a way to use their voice and their talent in the NFT space. So I think everyone belongs here, right? It's not like it's this new planet that we're on. We're in the same world. It's just different technology and different customs, traditions, philosophy, and we're all kind of early enough to be here figuring it out together. So there's kind of there's this like pioneer vibe going on, and part of it I think is really cool. Like, I feel so fortunate to have been in this space over the past 18 months. I was there super early. It's what is the word I'm trying to think? Like, I've even been a little bit drunk on it at times. But I also think the downside to that is, eventually being early and being a pioneer and helping to build some of the, this new world early on. Eventually that goes away, and now it's just everyone is in the world. And so I think everyone just needs to make sure that what they're doing in the space is something that they're super passionate about, that energizes them, like nothing has ever energized them before or you before, and that you're building something, because eventually everyone's going to be here. And then the same rules apply to Web 2. The brightest, the most creative, the hardest working, those are the people that are going to thrive. And so while we're all here early together, let's help each other in a way that allows us to be as energized as possible and doing the stuff that we really like to do for the space, because that's going to be the stuff that keeps us high and productive once it opens up to everyone. I'm going to bring up Jess Kaplan.
And then one last comment. Sorry, I don't want to take up too much more time.
No. And also looks like, just real quick, like you're not taking up too much time. I know you're being like courteous being up here, but stay up here with us. I also told Jeremy to stay up. Let's keep the conversation going. We'd love to have you up here tonight with us.
Yeah, and Thank you. I appreciate that. I wanted to comment on the hex. I actually had a different perspective on the hexagon. So first of all, I wouldn't have actually upgraded the hexagon, but I already had Twitter Blue. So if anybody doesn't have Twitter Blue yet, I actually do recommend it because they have these different labs. And one of the labs is the thing we've all been waiting for. It's the ability to edit your tweet for 30 seconds before it actually sends out. So for me, the $2.99 I pay a month for it or whatever it is, it was well worth it because we've all sent that tweet with that error in it. We're like, oh no, I can't believe I just sent that or
Every
whatever.
day.
So, yeah, so the being able to undo a tweet for 30 or 60 seconds, depending on how you said it, is well worth the money. Now, my other thought on it though is if you go to my profile and you click on my profile picture, I actually think it's quite amazing that we don't even have to guess anymore, like what the PFP is. Like, if you don't know the art, all the details are right there in it. So I think it's actually really good for the space to be able to see, well, what is that he's rocking? And, without even leaving Twitter, be able to see the details and then have links to the OpenSea account right from there.
Yeah, it's really good perspective.
I had a couple of questions just in terms of you mentioned lingo that newbies might not be familiar with. And right there, a PFP, I'd never heard that term before. And also, one of the speakers earlier mentioned a mint pass. So I was curious what those are.
This is why I wanted you to stay up on stage. Those are like amazing questions. And I think that, I'm going to answer them really quickly, but just like in any industry, if you go into an industry that you don't know, whether it's a hospital or a lawyer's office and people are throwing around acronyms, same thing. You just got to learn them. So PFP stands for profile picture. And a profile picture is the circle that you see for everyone. And so the reason why these projects that are, 10,000 Bored Apes are called PFP projects is because everyone uses them instead of their headshot as their PFP. And unless I didn't get that right, someone correct me.
Nope, sounds right.
Spot on.
All right, so it's used both as like, hey, this is my PFP of a Bored Ape or of your face or of a Nomad, but also people refer to them as PFP projects. And PFP projects have a negative connotation to them a lot of the time because a lot of people have created PFP projects that are just pump and dumps. And pump and dumps mean that people create projects that they pump up and hype and make it sound like it's the next big project. And then once everyone buys them, they dump them, and it's not, So sometimes PFP has a bad connotation to it, but not always. And then Mint Pass. So when you so a Mint Pass basically is an NFT that you can then use almost like a concert ticket. It actually, that's a horrible example. So I'll just tell you like what a Mint Pass is for Nomad. Instead of you going on to nomadboulevard.io when we did our sale and buying the Nomad NFT right there, you bought a Mint Pass. And a Mint Pass was done on a smart contract called an 1155, which created a way for everyone to be able to buy at the same time, but cost effectively. And if you wanted to buy 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you would only have to pay a small gas fee for all 5 of those. And then once we do the exchange of these Mint Passes, you're just going to have to pay one more fee, but it's a small fee to exchange it for the NFTs. So at the end of the day, the amount of transaction fee, the amount of gas fee that you're going to end up spending is going to be a lot lower. And the process is going to be more efficient than 1,000 people trying to buy something at the same time and having to pay hundreds of dollars potentially for gas. I don't know if that made any sense to you, because even saying it out loud, trying to think about saying that to a newbie, like I didn't feel like I did a great job. But it's basically an NFT that you're going to be able to exchange for another NFT. Go for it, Waterboy.
Yeah, it's just the Mint Pass is the will call, and then you're going to go take that pass and go get your ticket from will call. Now, what's interesting is that there's a whole like economic game around Mint Passes that, we'll keep talking about, but most other projects that take this approach, the Mint Passes themselves retain more value. So like today, name your project, the reveal happens, some people win, some people lose. Most of the time, the value of the project goes down a little bit. In a mint pass project, the passes themselves actually retain value, oftentimes above the floor of the passes they exchanged into. So the the reason that is there's always a chance that somebody could get the good, the most rare piece down the road. One of the things that we're toying with right now is like we're trying to gauge, bottom line. We talk about this a lot. Bottom line, we want the art out there, and so I have a hunch that people are going to be holding on to their passes. And so we're going to have to incentivize the community to burn those passes so we can get more and more of that art out there. And one of the things that I, going back to my Nikki Diamond call out, I really want us to get a gold dog tag and gift whoever mints the first Wes Henry as a reward for those that are, getting the art out there and a little bit of a game to, to kind of push that faster. But
all right, so let's
go ahead.
I was just going to say, let's talk this out, right? So when we refer to the gold JPEG dog tag, we're referencing two things. So about 6 months ago, when we started talking about, actually it was less than 6 months ago, maybe it was like 4 months ago, before Waterboy and I went to NFT NYC, we were thinking like, all right, what should we get when we go to all of these networking events? Should we get stickers? Should we get shirts? Like, what are we going to do to hand out stuff in New York to kind of, start to shout about the Nomad Blvd brand? And we had seen on this NFT from some project, I really wish I could remember the name of the project, but one of the characters had an asset, and it was like a gold, it was a gold necklace, and it was like a little square. It was a little gold necklace with a gold square, and it said JPEG on it. And Isabelle and I thought, the whole team thought it was so clever. And the person who minted that one, or the person that bought that one off the secondary market, said, anyone, any NFT that has a gold JPEG necklace on it, I'm buying it. And that just stuck with me. And I'm like, you know what? We need to make dog tags that say JPEG on it, because that's the new flex. Like, JPEGs are the new gold chain. And so on one side we did JPEG, and on the other side we did Nomad Blvd. And in New York, we brought like 100 of them, and we started passing them out at the parties and breakfasts and, the Bored Ape Yacht Club stuff that we went to. And everyone was like, oh my God, is that a JPEG necklace? That's so cool. I'm like, do you want it? They're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it's not like real gold. Like, absolutely. Like, this is like our business card. This is our signature, merch thing. And we passed it out. And on day 2 and day 3, we kept running into people that we had met on day 1 that were still wearing it the next day. And they'd see us and be like, we wore it again. We wore it again. This is amazing. We love it. And we're like, all right, we're onto something here. We did the same thing at Art Basel in Miami. This is a month later. I was running into people at parties in Art Basel wearing the same gold JPEG dog tag. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And we had a new version. We had like a second run. So we were giving people the second run. They're like, oh my gosh, I got the first and second run. And anyway, long story short, it's our signature. Obviously, you can tell that the mint passes, we've got both a founders and a collector's mint pass. We use the gold JPEG dog tag as kind of our signature there. And in the founders merch packages that we're going to be sending out to the people that got founders passes, you're going to get a founders JPEG dog tag, which is black. And then you're also going to get a gold JPEG dog tag, which is gold. And then any IRL stuff that we do, we're going to have some in stock to pass out. We're also going to have a merch store where you're going to be able to buy them online. And, this is something where, this is going to be our thing forever. And so to Andy's point, we want to make some like gold plated gold JPEG dog, like for real gold JPEG dog tags. And, we want to make that happen. So, something that Waterboy mentioned at the beginning of the call. So there's a company called Diamond Supply. And for those of you who haven't heard of this company, it was founded by someone named Nikki Diamonds. Nikki is in the NFT space. He's been a fashion designer. He's just kind of one of those people that, is in pop culture and fashion and well connected. And I had never met him until about 3 weeks ago. And there was another guy named Stecky who introduced me and said, "Hey, there's someone I want you to talk to." And so we jumped on a call. We spoke for an hour and basically said that they want to do a clothing line with some of the Bored Apes. And as you can see, Jeremy, my PFP is a Bored Ape, and Bored Apes are a PFP project that really have kind of changed the NFT game forever. If not the one of the most famous and just kind of innovative projects in the space. And so I got lucky. I was there early. I was able to get this. And one of the things that the Bored Ape Yacht Club does that Nomad Boulevard doesn't do is give commercial license to the owners of each of their apes. So as you can see, Joso's got one. YVR Trader has one. Royma J also has one. Has a mutant. And so, for example, if I wanted to create a tequila company called Hero Machine Tequila, I could use the picture of my Bored Ape, which includes the Bored Ape Yacht Club hat, which includes the Bored Ape Yacht Club logo. I could use that commercially in any way that I want, and I don't have to get permission. That's already built in to the rules of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I've never heard of any company doing something like this before. It was very new and innovative. I still don't think people know if that was a good idea or a bad idea. But Nikki had the idea of saying, look, let's do a clothing line where I will speak to people that own Bored Apes. I will share royalties of anything that I sell, and I will get them to sign a license agreement, a non-exclusive license agreement for a limited period of time. And let's go to market with it. And let's see if there's a market for people that want to buy clothing with these apes on them. I have no idea if any are going to sell. I have no idea if people want to even own a t-shirt with my Bored Ape on it. But in the collection, the signature piece is an army jacket with my ape on the back. And it says, would rather be bored than boring. And it's a super cool jacket. And at least I'm going to get one. I'm getting one for my mom too, because I know she wants one. And we'll just see what happens. So Nicky Diamonds also does a lot of jewelry stuff. I knew I was going to point to this story. He does a lot of jewelry. And so we would love to do a partnership with him where he helps us design and manufacture gold-plated JPEG dog tags that we can start to come up with. We can come up with different giveaways or reasons to give that out. And going back to Waterboy's point on exchanging these mint passes, I know that there are going to be people that want to exchange them. But we might incentivize people by giving out gold JPEG dog tags. I probably need to take like a little break after the break.
That is fast. Everything you said is so fascinating. First off, thank you everybody, all of you for the detailed information and giving me. It's like each time I learn a little new piece of information, it's like going another level deeper into the matrix. And it's almost like I wish someone was making a real-time documentary on the evolution of NFTs and art NFTs, and I could just sit down, almost like watching a reality TV show. Like I could just come in each week, just tune in and see like how is this world unfolding. Like
somebody's got to be making it at this point.
Jeremy, I promise you that before the year is over, it's going to be like America's Next Top NFT Creator. And, 10 perfect strangers live in a house making NFTs. And, people are going to be getting interviewed and they're going to be like, I sold 10 NFTs in one day and I thought I was going to be, and now I'm not selling anything. And, I guarantee someone is already writing the treatment for that. Right?
Did you guys, you guys know who Ben Mesrick is? He wrote, Ugly Americans and Bitcoin Billionaires and Facebook.
Great author. Yeah.
Yeah. He's doing a book on the NFT market, on Web3 and the NFT marketplace right now.
How do you know that?
He dropped an NFT collection a couple of weeks ago, and it's actually an interesting collection because it's going to be dropped in phases. And the roadmap is if you own all three of the NFTs, you'll actually get royalties in the playwright that he's creating on the Web3 NFT space. And so he basically confirmed it by saying, this is the roadmap goals. We're going to drop these three NFT phases, first collection, second collection, third. If you own all three, you'll be able to participate in the royalties of this new book I'm going to write.
Have you purchased all three?
Well, no, he just dropped the first collection, and I didn't because, there's a flipper in me. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I
Right.
minted similar to the story that was told there, Josto's story. I minted two. And when the reveal hit, I had like a top 10 rarity one. So I threw it up immediately. Because, I watched the project. It was hype, but it wasn't that high. The art was okay. I mean, it was good art. I don't want to knock on the art. It just wasn't I didn't think it was going to be a project that was just going to moon. And so I took advantage of the momentum in the moment, and I put it up for like over an ETH. It sold in like 5 minutes. And I got out.
Wow.
For me, that was a great, that was a win. I typically don't fall in love with projects. I fall in love with the transactions. There's some projects I do fall in love with. Like I have no intent. Like Nomad is one of those, and I have a few others where like I see the long-term value of being in it for personal reasons and financial reasons and growth reasons in the space. But if it's just like an opportunity that's just like comes across my radar in a few minutes, like, yeah, I see it, I'll take it. So I didn't. So I don't even own one anymore. And it was the right time to get out, and I could certainly buy back in. And I'm going to watch the project because I think that's cool that what he's doing. But that's how I know he's going to do the book. And I think there's no better person probably to write that book. Um, you know, at least because he's such an amazing writer when it comes to that approach and how he describes things.
So really appreciate the beta. And have you heard of Jenkins the Valet?
Yeah, I have, only because like I have some Bored Ape friends I think are taking advantage of that relationship. I don't really understand it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so it was one of those things like there's some projects that, oh, by the way, Jeremy, you'll hear this acronym a lot, which is DYOR, which stands for Do Your Own Research. And there's some projects where, I speak to 15 people. I look at their website, their roadmap, I download their white paper, I try to find out who's involved and really get into it. And then sometimes I don't even go to the website. I don't even know who's involved. I just, for whatever reason, get a signal from someone or someone tells me something, and I'm like, you know what? I don't even have a second today, but I'm just going to get one. And I don't recommend doing that. But one of the ones that I did do that for was Jenkins the Valet. And the two people that created it are in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And they leveraged that relationship to kind of help bring awareness and attention to the project. And their whole premise is they're going to find a best-selling author, which they did. I'm totally blanking on this author's name. I know Leon knows it.
Neil
Neil
Strauss.
Strauss. And essentially, they had three different types of tokens you could buy, three different types of NFTs. One was a key, one was a ticket, and one was a boat. And they had different values, but essentially you could get your Bored Ape or your character to be featured in the book that he writes. Is that right, Leon?
Yeah, you missed. There's also there's a ticket, a key, a stand, and then the Wagme yacht. So there was four actually.
Which ones do you have, Leon?
I have a key and a stand. I tried to get a yacht, but then it just took off in price and just got way, 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 way out of reach.
Got it. Well, anyway, the reason why I bring it up is because those are two different examples of kind of some of the very, very early projects that are just that are about to, disrupt traditional models. And the common thread between all of these micro disruptions across the NFT space, because it's not just art, right? There are a lot of different ways that people are using the NFT space to be disruptive and to create new rules. The common thread is inclusion and distribution of power and sharing an upside. Um, that is very DAO. That's very community led and community organized. It's what we believe at Nomad Boulevard is going to be the way of the future. And the same way going into a boardroom or going into an office or sitting with a leadership team at a meeting and seeing all straight white dudes is tone deaf and isn't a place that I would want to hang out in. the same thing with the NFT space. I want to be a part of communities and projects where everyone is involved. Everyone's going to share in the upside. People are going to be able to raise their hand and participate. And there's real representation, not just of identity and background and experience and age and all of these different things, but in terms of ideas. And, that's what we're trying to wrap our heads around right now. For those of you who are new in the room, tomorrow at 5 p.m. PST, we're going to be walking through our roadmap. We're going to be talking about the Nomad DAO. We're going to be talking about partnerships. We're going to be talking about voting and how the community can get involved. Tomorrow is definitely a session that you're not going to want to miss if you want a DYOR. If you don't, and you bought a Mint Pass, or you want to go buy a Mint Pass on secondary before we do our reveal a week from Friday, I'm not going to be mad at that, because I know that you're making a good call, but and that's not financial advice. But tomorrow's going to be a big day for us, and we'd love you to come and participate. And come check out our Discord too. Something that I am proud of is we didn't have like a crazy gamified Discord. So there are a lot of projects that have Discords that have a ton of gamification set up. There's a lot of marketing where, you pay companies that DM as many people as they can find on Discord to get them to come in. And there are 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people in Discord. The project sells out and then everyone goes away. And we wanted Discord to be a place where people can safely and comfortably go and get information, ask questions, start to get to know each other. We wanted it to cover time zones, and we wanted to be a place that can be long lasting. And so we took the organic approach. Now, the con to doing that, and Jess, we'll go to you after. The con of doing what we did is that we freaked the hell out this whole time, because, we didn't have the signal that said you're ready to sell your project, right? Normally projects oversubscribe, they have the numbers, and then they feel confident to put their project on the market and have it sell. We didn't have that. So it was stressful, but now that the project's sold out, we're heading into our reveal a week from tomorrow. I'm almost positive I'm allowed to say that date. We're really happy we did it that way. And we've met so many incredible people in our Discord, so many talented artists that have been creating derivatives, and just excited about what the future holds. So Jess, I know you had your hand up. What's going on? How are you?
Hi, how are you? Sorry, I was coughing. So first of all, congratulations. I was working along.
Hey, Jess, you know what?
Opened up.
Jess, I'm so sorry to interrupt. It's cutting out a little bit. It's cutting out a little bit. Can you do me a favor? Assuming that you're on your phone, can you just go up to the upper right-hand corner, drag down, and take the Wi-Fi off? Sometimes I've found in Twitter Spaces that when you take the Wi-Fi off and you just use your cellular connection, it helps out a lot.
Okay, I took it off. Does that help?
Yeah.
So much better.
I also moved.
All right.
Okay. So first of all, I wanted to congratulate you guys, because I didn't get a chance to congratulate you, and I was so sad that I missed out on that. And I have been, ever since I came in this room, like, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago, who keeps track of time anymore? I've been coming back, and I love, the artists, and I love the community, and I love Sabit and Gabe, and it's just people I've known since the beginning, and then obviously meeting you guys later on, newer people, and it's just like a really great positive vibe. And I'm not just saying that because a lot of spaces perceive to hold that kind of thing, but they really don't. So that's probably why I keep coming back. But I wanted to know, so I'm still really bad with all the minting and everything, and I know I missed the first one. So would I have to buy one on the secondary now if I ever wanted to be part of Nomad Blvd?
So first of all, thank you for saying all of that, and especially someone who has been in the space for a while.
Yeah.
You mentioned some names that I consider like OGs in the space from last year. Um, it's just we would have eventually connected. You and the other people in this room, we would have eventually done that. So here's how I'm going to answer that question. Do you need to buy a mint pass on the secondary to be a Nomad? No, right? You're here. We're not, these aren't closed Twitter spaces for only people that invested in a Nomad. So no, we're hanging out in Twitter spaces, in our Discord, IRL stuff. You can still be a part of this community because the community existed before we got here, right? We just kind of connected the dots between existing silo communities, and we're building on top of that. In terms of being a part of the project, and taking part in the DAO, with some of the decision making and future upside, getting access to some limited drops or maybe some private events, there's going to be stuff that's specifically for holders of Nomads, and it's just kind of up to you. You're welcome here no matter what, but that's definitely going to be your ticket, your passport into the stuff behind the veil. So I haven't checked on secondary today. I think there are some mint passes that aren't too much higher than the original mint price. It's definitely more, but I think there's still some affordable ones on there. Also, over the next kind of couple of weeks, definitely next week, we're going to be doing some giveaways. Maybe you can win one when we do some of the giveaways. Otherwise, I try to pick one up on secondary or just hang in there and see what happens. We do our reveal a week from Friday, and there are going to be 3,500. Well, actually, I don't know, maybe some people aren't going to exchange their mint pass, but there are going to be a bunch of Nomads, and maybe there's one that you really like that could potentially be your forever Nomad, and you want to buy that one. I just don't know what the secondary market's going to be at that point, so your guess is as good as mine.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go check it out, and I am going to figure out what works best. But I also, so sorry, I'm so bad with this stuff. So does that mean then, if okay, I know like I can come in here and whatever, and everybody's been amazing, and obviously you know that because I'm in here all the time. But does that mean that any future would I need to have been part of the first drop in order to be involved in any future drops? Like if I wanted to buy something in the future from Nomad, would I have to have this mint pass right now?
So this there's always going to be an advantage in our community by
Okay.
having an NFT, for sure.
Okay.
So, when we do future drops, anyone that owns a Nomad Boulevard NFT is either going to have early access, or we're going to do airdrops, or that's 100%. And the reason why we do that is because, it's obvious why we're doing that. But you can always buy in at whatever point. I mean, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example, has been around for 8 months now, 9 months now. You could buy one tomorrow and be in, just as in as I've been, as I am, and I've been in for a while. So
Can
that's the weird. It's the
Daddy?
weird. What's that,
I'm like,
Jess?
can I? Because it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, so there's that factor, right? Bored Ape Yacht Club is a bad example.
Right.
But I guess my point is that's the
Of
one thing
course.
that is so wild about this space that we're in. It's
That's
that you're a part of a community. You help to build it. You join parties. There's a bunch of stuff that comes with being part of one of these communities, and then one day you could just sell and be out, or one day you could just buy and be in, and it's bizarre. And I think we're all seeing how this thing is going to unfold, and I think it's too early to know exactly how it's going to unfold. But what I can tell you is this: the creative communities, the art community, this is nothing new. It's been around since the beginning of history. We're just carving a path, and we're going forward down this path, and I think it's a good one, and we're excited about it. And you got to do your own research.
yeah.
And I would also do this, Jess. We've got Wes on stage. We also have a couple of other of the featured artists here in the room tonight. I would DM a couple of the artists that are featured artists of Nomad Boulevard and ask them for their perspective of what this is, because they've been able to see this from a different perspective, and that might be helpful before making a decision.
Yeah. And I was there when Wes was onboarded in Clubhouse. So that's, yeah, I've gotten to speak to him. That's awesome. It's so cool. It goes just so quickly. Like if you blink or you're not on here for a few days or you get caught up, you just like, you miss things, you know? So, but I just really love this community. And one last question, are you going to be working with other artists in the future, or is it always going to be the group that you have right now?
It's a great question. I mean, you were asking like questions that I'm sure other people in the room want you to be asking.
Because I love you guys and I want to be in.
No, look, I get it, and we want you to be too. So we have not decided yet on exactly how we're going to be including more artists, but we know for sure that we will be. So that's the best answer I can give you right now. And I know, let's see, is Waterboy still on stage? Did he get rugged? Oh no, he's here. One of the things that he's going to be talking tomorrow about in our roadmap conversation is, how we're going to be making decisions, not all decisions, especially in this first phase, but how we're going to be making decisions where we lean on the community to help us. And that's definitely going to be baked in there. I have seen artists that are in this room, so I'm just going to scroll down for a sec. Mufasa, 3MinX, hold on, who else did one? I think they've left, but there have been some artists that have done derivatives of the Nomad that hasn't even been revealed yet that are just unbelievable. For me, it was, I even DM'd, I thought they were in here. Oh yeah. All right. So everyone go down in the room and look at, so they go by Ian's, IANS, and it's at ISANGE23. Go check out this person's derivative of the Nomad. Let me just see where it is on their profile. Oh my God, they did another one. Oh my, I cannot even believe how talented this artist is. All right, I'm pinning this up right now.
I'm like, can't find them.
Yeah, I just pinned one, and I'm actually going to pin another. All right, so this legitimately is why, and I'll just speak for myself, so I'm going to take my Nomad hat off for a second. This is why I'm here, because of this. So check out what I just pinned. This is a person who told me in DMs earlier that they have never minted any artwork in the NFT space. They're just a collector and checking things out, and just did these two derivatives. I just am blown away by this, and so I will make sure that Nomad Boulevard, all of us on the team, will make sure that we continue to highlight new artists and bring attention to people like this. That this is what we're all about.
So cool.
Those are so good. That pink. Oh.
So
Yeah.
Danny, do you know, are these actual NFTs? Did they put them up and you can buy them?
So so Ian's, if you're open to coming up on stage, just go ahead and request to come up on stage. No pressure. But would love to ask you some questions about this. Joseph, to answer your question, I don't think so. I don't think these are minted. Now, what we've been doing in our Discord, we've done a competition. So anyone who wants to take a stab at doing a piece of art, we're going to pick a winner and announce this. And so I'm pretty sure this is going to go into the contest. I saw that Jeremy had their hand up, and also someone else had their hand up too. Jeremy, go for it.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to ask, so with derivatives, what is the relationship between the person who's creating the derivative versus the original? Is this one of those things where it's like fan art, but in the NFT space, this kind of thing where you should get the permission from the person first? Like, what's the proper etiquette of doing a derivative?
I would say
So
proper etiquette is definitely try to get their permission first. But yeah, go ahead, Danny.
Unless
no.
you own one.
Yeah. So
If you own a if you own one of the pieces, then the IP usually comes with it, just for clarity. So you could that's one of the reasons to buy an NFT is you're like, well, now you can go nuts and make all kinds of fan art with it.
So I want to give a little bit of history on derivatives in the space for Jeremy and anyone else who, is newer to the space. But first, I need to remove someone so I can bring Ian's up. So I am going to remove.
I can jump down. It's all
Yeah,
good.
throw me down too. I'm good. I'll just be listening.
Yeah, you could throw me down.
Who I don't know who said that. Who said that?
I did. Looks did. So you
Oh,
can toss
looks.
me down. I'll be hanging in the crowd.
Okay, and you know what though? It looks like Eric Rebelling, who I really wanted to talk to tonight. So maybe we'll bring Eric back up a little bit later. Already jumped down, so looks, feel free to stay, or go whatever. It's totally up to you. Would love to have you up here though. And we're
Yeah,
gonna
stay
have
up,
Ian.
looks.
Yeah, stay up, looks. So while Ian's connecting, I just want to give a little bit of history on what derivative means in the space for Jeremy and other people that are new to this, and also these are kind of like the basic things that you just kind of, once you get it, you don't even talk about it anymore. But I don't think I've ever articulated this. I would love Wes and YVR to jump into. Looks, please do as well. But derivatives are basically, fan art, doing your take at another piece of art so that everyone knows unequivocally that it is someone else's art, but it's done in your style. And there is a major derivative culture in the NFT space. Major. And there are PFP collections, and I know you know what that means now, Jeremy. There are PFP collections of just derivatives. There's the Bored Ape Knot Club. There's the Bored Ape Pirate Club. There's the Crypto Funks instead of the Crypto Punks. And these are derivative PFP projects. Then they're also one of one artists, like Wes Henry, who's on stage, who you should definitely follow and check out. He's one of the Nomad Blvd featured artists. He's one of the top artists in the space. He's one of my best friends. He's wild, and he has done some derivatives that are just unbelievable. That as long as he has permission from the artist or from the PFP collection to do the derivative, he mints them and he sells them and he makes money doing it. So if you have the ability to do a derivative and it's something that is marketable or something that someone's willing to pay for, there's real money to be made in the space, and it's not seen as like stealing, or it's seen as art, which I think is really, really cool. YVR, Joso, Jess, Wes, Looks, Isabelle, anything you want to add on derivatives before we talk to Ian's?
More of a question for Wes. Wes, you still going to do that derivative of my ape?
I'll do a derivative of your ape. Oh, you mean did you give me one when I threw it out there for the Jonathan
Yeah.
Little project?
For that side little project.
So for that, it's for all the apes that I'm using, they'll be barely recognizable. Actually, yours has got cheetah fur, huh? So maybe it will be recognizable. I was just gonna say, and the mouth actually. So that's what I was gonna say is for what I'm using them for, because they're going in like a deck of cards, and it's just the face cards like the Jack, Queen, King. They'll have like the traditional coat of armor, kind of like top and bottom reverse, like a normal deck of cards has. But then the head will be of an ape, which one of these apes. So they have, crowns or whatever I'm putting on them. So the hat factor will be gone for the most part. But the eyes, the way the mouth is, and the fur color will all be, apparent. Or if it's smiling or whatever, because I think I already put YVRs in one, because he's got the gold grail, and it's like, I'm a big fan of that shit. That's a good one. But yeah, so maybe yours too. And so to pick up that question a little bit on derivatives, it's some of it's tricky, some of it's not, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, you got to ask for permission. But in the NFT world, that you don't necessarily need to ask for permission. So a lot of the, it at this point is sort of written into NFT culture that if you own, let's say an Oni One or a Bored Ape or whatever it is, you can do a derivative of that thing you own in a million different ways because you own the intellectual property. So you could even create a fucking cartoon show called Me and My Bored Ape, and it's just that same character could be brought to life on like a streaming show that's national, and the Bored Ape Yacht Club would be cool with it because you own that ape. So it gets a little tricky when you do, because sometimes my derivatives are just a generic version. It doesn't have attributes, and I'll get feedback, and people are like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that." And I'm like, "Well, I can do whatever the fuck I want because there's also that, right? Like, I'll do a portrait of Michael Jordan, and some estates of like famous things, just as an NFT, are going to care, and maybe they'll legally come after you. And then some of them are just going to be like, that's fucking great. Like Jim Carrey. If you were to do a piece of Jim Carrey, he's an artist. He loves it. He'll probably repost it and won't be upset. I think if you mess with, I think it's Michael Jackson specifically, like that estate, they'll like legally pursue
Well,
you.
also think
So
about it this way too. Like I've been to different places where someone was selling, a painting of someone famous or something, and they're selling them for $100 or something. You
yeah,
can't go after everyone. And I think
yeah.
once you do it on the blockchain or you do it digitally, it's easier for people to go after people. And I don't think people know yet what the rules are around this. But what I can say is this: if you have the permission of someone who owns something to do something, then you're probably okay. And that is not legal advice. That is just me using common sense.
And
Um,
and 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 also to add to that, like, you know, you can use like fan art. Like, what would that be called? It's like, well, if you don't sell it, then it's cool and it's a nice, and you're being nice as a fan. Or if you try and make it into a T-shirt and sell that T-shirt, are you an asshole that's riding their coattails? So even the morality of it, I think, is up in the air. And I think when you dive into it, people think they have a definitive answer in their head as to what's right and wrong. But if you poke holes at that, it usually falls apart. And not so it's kind of like use your judgment in the NFT game. If you own an NFT of whatever piece of property it is, I'm going to say 99.9% of the time you can create a derivative of that however you want, and you can sell it. You can make money with that as well.
all right, so let me recap this really quick, and then I want to go to Ian's. What you're saying, Wes, is that you can do anything you want to do at any point of the day, any point of the year. You can do anything. You could be
Just don't give a fuck.
okay.
Yeah,
All right,
there's also
so
like do whatever the fuck you want. There's also a public figure thing. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but like if Mickey Mouse or something. If you were to do your own like really wild, 5 steps to the left of what Mickey Mouse visually looks like as an artist, there's this legal leeway that you get because it's called like an artist's interpretation. So even the law is wishy-washy and gray on what you can do. If it's a one-to-one copy, then that's when legally someone could come in and be like, yo, you can't do that. But there's an artistic interpretation thing that's really gray, and I think allows for a lot of interpretation. So just, I guess in general, the rule would just be try not to be a dick. Honestly, whatever that means to you.
Yeah, Jeremy, to answer your question, I think the nice thing to do is like people will ask, "Hey, can I do a derivative of your ape?" Like that's how I got one of my first derivatives. Some guy reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I like your ape. Can I do a derivative of it?" He technically probably could have just done a derivative and put it up. Like I see a lot of people do that. There's whole projects that do that just copy like Doodle Friends or stuff like that. They just copy rip off a whole style, whole project. But yeah, I think like the unspoken rule is definitely just ask people, and most people are like, yeah, do a derivative of it.
Isn't this what the whole funks thing was all about in the DCMA? And
there's just so many of these bullshit rip-off projects. I think there's like a difference. There's some that are just straight rip-offs, and then there's like these like classy derivative projects going on.
And I think also even the direct ripoffs like OpenSea and everybody, they won't intervene. The only time I saw them intervene was when it was a ripoff project, but actually the art was stolen. So it was like a double ripoff, and someone like stole the art from the creator and tried to create another project, and that's when they step in and they're like, "That's not cool." But to that point, even what Andy was saying, you just take the crypto punks and just flip them around and they're facing the other way and you're like, look at this, collect them all, and it's like a whole new thing. And I don't know, I guess that flies.
And by the way, I just want to say, like, you know, there are so many projects. Um, you know, definitely not trying to hate on other projects doing their thing for what they're doing. All I'm trying to do is, do our thing. And one thing that I will stand by to the end is our artwork. And, even though, there's a lot of humor that you get out of this artwork, if you go to Isabelle's PFP and you click on it and then click on it and zoom in, you'll see that the artwork for Nomad Boulevard, they're going to look like digital paintings. You're going to be able to print out the high res versions and put it on your wall. And you're going to be like, that is really, really damn cool. And the 15 featured artists that all did their version of the Nomad that we've turned into a 10 of 10, only 4% of the collection are going to be special edition featured artist pieces. So one of the reasons why we did this is because it just made sense to do it that way. This is a project centered around Isabelle's character. The other reason is because we wanted to make sure that these artists, had some of the rarest pieces. And when we do the reveal day, I'm really, really hoping that I reveal one of the featured artist pieces. I think that's going to be so much fun. All right, so let's go over to Ian's because you've been waiting for a minute. Welcome to the Nomad Boulevard stage. I am blown away by your two Nomad derivatives. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about you and how you got into the space, and tell us a little bit about what inspired you to do these pieces?
Oh man, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you? Oh, yeah. I mean, I got into this space a little while ago, maybe about a year ago. Um, I really just a collector, so this is all blown away from me. So I did art, drawing, mostly just drawing in my past, and love doing this stuff and just hanging out and doing things that stuff that I get into, things that I mint, and so I did two of these things, and they kind of blew up with you guys. So I'm totally psyched about it.
So hang on a second. So are you, what do you do, IRL? By the way, Jeremy, IRL is in real life.
Yeah, no, in
That
real
might
life,
not be like a native NFT thing, but any acronym, I'm going to go to Jeremy and make sure you got it. But Ian, so like, what, are you an artist? Do you do art on the side? Has that always been something you do full time?
no, totally. I'm a lawyer. I in real life nothing like this. So I do this
Amazing.
totally on the side, totally on the side, and
And what did you use? So this one with pink and purple hair, what did you
yeah.
use? Did you use Photoshop or Procreate? What did you do for that?
No, all my stuff was on Procreate. Yeah, my daughter. My daughter's a huge art. She's better than me, really, and she get got me to get Procreate, and I just start playing around with stuff, and I started throwing things out there.
Has your daughter ever minted an NFT?
No, but I tell you what, I mean, hers are probably better than mine.
Do you have anything that you can tweet that you can pin up here?
If yeah, I let's see.
I mean,
I
I'm not
can.
like, I don't want to put you on the
Yeah,
spot to like,
I'm not gonna be quick at it though. But
what? All right, well, stay up with us here for a bit. If you can, try to get something so that we can all see it. If you're saying that your daughter are amazing, both of them, so
I
would
mean,
love to
I'm
see.
blown away. I'm literally like right now. I'm like blown away. Just all you guys sitting on here. Like I collect all. I mean, Wes and Parent and Isabel like that. I'm insane right now.
That's amazing. Well, look, this is how it happens, right? I think this is, a good example for Jeremy and Jess and other people in the room. Um, you know, People buy art for lots of different reasons, but often the reason is because they're buying the artist behind the artwork too. And I know for me, sometimes I purchase art before and I don't know the artist just because the art isn't amazing, and that definitely happens. But when I get to meet an artist and get to know them and they explain what they're all about and what their style is, there's kind of a whole different type of an emotional connection to the art. And the best way to do that in this space, aside from building relationships and connections in real life, is coming onto Twitter Spaces and Discord.
Oh
Um, you
yeah.
know, Starting a network. So this is what it's all about.
Yeah, no, Senator Greaves just tweeted my stuff, so that's insane.
Awesome.
It's popping up as we're talking.
Well, I would. I already, and look, I DM'd you earlier today, right? So
Yep.
I would love to buy one of these. First, I think you should enter them into the competition that we're doing in our Discord for Nomad Boulevard.
Oh
But
yeah, they're in there.
all right, but after that, after we get through the competition, I would love to buy one of these. And if you're not exactly sure, the best strategy for minting, I can connect you with a bunch of people to help you out. Wes up here is one of them. Isabel is one of them. Happy to
Danny,
help
you got rugged.
I got
Yeah.
rugged.
Your mic is just soft. Oh,
What about
it's
now?
better now. Yeah, you're
What
good. You're
about?
good.
I'm good. Okay, so I'm happy to connect you with someone to help you, and this I extend this to you, Jeremy, too, just to help you get started with, minting, what platform, should you do a 1 of 1 or a 5 of 5? How much did you charge? Like, we're gonna start to really become a place to help artists onboard.
Yeah.
Jess, I see your hand raise. Do you
I
want to say
just
something?
Yeah.
chills. Like this is the best part of, like, I mean, this is the best part of the whole thing since I've been in NFT since February. It's about the shit that happens out of nowhere. I was in here when everybody discovered Mufasa and his incredible art, and this has happened, multiple times in the oddest ways. And this is why, I mean, just if anybody's new in the space, like, or you get discouraged, you just keep coming back because there's so much magic. And I know that may sound cheesy, but like, look at what just happened. Hello. And now his daughter, I mean, may even be like, she's going to start minting maybe. Like, this is what it's about. Sorry, I got excited. I had to share.
No, definitely, it's special. It really is.
Hell yeah, and Eads, just my shotgun answer would be make a collection on OpenSea and put those derivatives up 5 of 5s for .1 a piece. That's where I would start. And that one with the hands where the first Nomad that he did, I mean
Yeah.
that'll sell out if you put it up even while we're here. I mean, if it's kind
Yeah,
of
really.
if you've never done
I don't
it
even know
before.
how to mint shit. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Yeah, well,
Yeah, so that
you're a lawyer. I
yeah.
mean,
I mean,
you don't go to loss.
and I'm not an NFT lawyer. I'm like I'm a regular lawyer.
Look, that's what you do by day, and you NFT by night. You're like Batman.
Yeah.
So look, all I can say is this: you are definitely in the right spot. We definitely want you to be here with us. Come hang out, ask questions, and let's definitely talk offline. I also DM'd Looks. I DM'd Jeremy. I definitely want to, meet some of you offline too, and figure out different ways that we can help you help us. That's how this works. Ian, while you're looking for some of your daughter's artwork to tweet to then pin up here, I just want to point out to some people in the room that if you look down at Manu Stegi, if you look at his PFP, he's also done a derivative that's going to be in the contest that we're doing in Discord, which is amazing. If you look down to 3MinX, also amazing. I don't know what I'm more excited about, the reveal or the derivatives from the community and fans of this artwork. This is wild. I'm really excited. Misha, welcome to the stage. Good to see you again.
Good to see you all. There's so much talent again in this room. I'm just shocked, as per usual. It's just so nice to come to the rooms with artists who have just years of experience and just bodies of work, and you can just see the style and progression. I was talking about Wes. I just checked his Instagram and it looks so cool. The reason I came on stage though is I'm going to LA tomorrow. I should probably go to bed, but you know how it goes in Twitter space. You just get sucked. But I'll be in LA. I'm just wondering if anyone going to LA art show tomorrow. I think it's going at happening at Convention Center. I know a lot of you guys based in LA, and I'm just curious.
So I'll start. Do I say that a lot, by the way? I'll start.
Never.
Is that a little Twitter Spaces tick that I
You
have?
haven't mentioned that you got coffee or tea anywhere today, though, so you're doing good.
Okay.
All
right. Trying to be self-aware. But I am in LA, and tomorrow night, after I put my kids to sleep, I am going to be going out. And I don't think I'm going to be going to an official event, but I'm definitely hanging out with people in the art community, people in the NFT space. So we're definitely going to be out. I don't know where it is yet. Would love to meet you in person. So DM me, Misha, and we'll exchange contact info, and I'll let you know where we're at, and you're welcome to join us.
Oh my God, that's so awesome because, I live in New York. I mean, I'm originally from Russia and people make fun of me for that, but New York winters are really, really cold. Compared to where I'm from Russia, the cold is just different because in New York it's so close to the water. So I'm just every time in January I try to escape. And this year I'm going to LA. Not to mention it's my birthday on Saturday, so I just really want to have a little excursion from this city where everything is just kind of slows down during the winter time. And
nice.
Thank you. That said, also I know a lot of Isabella's graffitis all over LA. Where would be the best ones to go see in person? Anyone?
I was just about to say I'll start, but I stopped myself.
I always just randomly see them. I know there's one behind Budman's studio. If you look up Jim Budman's studio, Danny, do you know the name of it? Is it called The Window or something like that?
I usually go to Isabelle, who painted them, for that info. So,
Hey,
I was trying to stall.
Hey, sorry, I've been kind of multitasking. There's the biggest one I have in LA is on Pico, near the 10 freeway. So if you're driving east on Pico, you'll see it. And then in Venice, like Joseph said, there's one behind Budman's Studio or Justa, which is a really awesome bakery. It's a partner restaurant of Jelena, which is this famous restaurant in Venice. It's really amazing. Justa Bakery. And then there's another one on Abbot Kinney that's that one just gets photographed all the time because Abbot Kinney is such a popular foot traffic area. So yeah.
I'd definitely check out the Justa one though. You had a coffee or juice there too.
Yeah. Yes. Welcome to LA.
Well, I'm just there just for the weekend, but I'm
nice.
excited to come and enjoy the weather and see some art.
Yeah, it's been beautiful weather here, so it'll be a nice little winter vacation.
I know. I think it's dropping to 22 degrees tomorrow. I mean, it's right now it's 22 degrees, so I'm probably overpacking, but I'm just excited about LA. Because I tried to go to LA every year, but then pandemic happened, so I didn't go since 2020. So it's been like what, 2 years? God, yeah. So I just try to meet as many people, especially like it's so nice to meet real people from NFT space. Like I'm meeting a couple friends I met at NFT NYC, and then we again hang out in Miami. So it's kind of like it enforces, I guess, the experience you get from Twitter Spaces when you actually see people in real life. Like, oh my God, you're actually so tall, or like all that stuff. Because there's definitely like we've been indoors for so long because of pandemic and just hanging out in real life. There's no substitute for it. I know we're all in spaces and it makes it very convenient, but there's something about just being in the same space with people who are like-minded, and that's like very, very, very cool.
Oh my gosh, when I see an NFT head in the wild, it's there's nothing better. It's like, hey, when did you get into space? Oh, you're in that I mean, come on, there's nothing better than that. So Misha, definitely DM me. We'll definitely hang out in LA, and
Perfect.
like I'll
Yeah,
hang
keep
out
me
with.
posted on your plans, and I'll try to come make it out at some point this weekend.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Awesome.
just put your address, Isabelle, and we'll meet at your place. Right.
Creepy not.
Yeah,
Second,
creepy
like a
not.
quick question about the contest. I'm on Discord, but can you just like tell it out loud, because I'm really bad with Discord, like probably like many people in here.
Yeah. So before I do that, I'm actually going to ask Andy. Wait, is Andy up here still? He left.
I think he left. Also, for the room, really quickly, when I was like, yeah, 99.9% of project, you get the IP. Andy texted me, was like, yes or no. So just letting everyone know, don't take my advice. Take my if you have a fuck it attitude like I do, then the world is yours. But if you're worried about legal type of stuff, then that is not the case. Board API Club, you own the IP, but that is not the fact. That's not the same for all projects.
Yeah, every project's different, and it's just the Wild West out there as
Wes,
well.
don't make me come after you. IP wars.
See,
No,
I just think
seriously.
about it as like it's fan art. Like, why would a company ever be if you did some kick-ass thing of any project and we're like, hey, check out my kick-ass version of this kick-ass thing? Like, why would anyone be like, hey,
Oh
don't do
no. Not that's not the same as like Bored Apes, where people can like literally go get repped and by an agent in LA and like do their own thing with their ape. It's a little bit different. I'm all for people creating. I love derivatives. I think they're amazing. They're super cool.
I
Gotcha.
think what
So
I
you
think what
can't
we're saying
create
though.
a cartoon show with it, but you can do a derivative of basically anything, and no one's gonna
You
get upset.
No, you can do a derivative. That's cool. But what you can't do is an exact replica of an image with a brand from a project and like make t-shirts. And, I wake up the next morning and there's a targeted Instagram ad saying, buy this Nomad Boulevard shirt by Wes Henry Designs. I'm, you know, I'm going to call Ian's. I'm going to get Ian's to represent us and we're going to come after you because and that's the other cool thing. Like, everyone has different experiences and network and connections in Nomad, right? We don't really know who everyone is. We know a lot of people. We're meeting new people, but we're hoping that everyone's going to bring something unique to the table. And once we start to discover what everyone's all about and what people can do to help, we're going to be pretty powerful. That's going to be pretty cool to see what happens. What we're already seeing in this first phase is that in the community we have a ton of talented artists. So we're gonna be able to blow up the Nomad Boulevard brand and what we're all about by just the artistic voice of our community. So to answer Misha's question, we are doing a contest. Actually, Brandon, can you explain this one better than I can? Because I didn't read the fine print of the contest. So I feel like I keep butchering it.
We're here. We're here. Are you there's actually two artist kind of highlight contests going on. So we have the derivative one that started in Discord, which now which is what we're talking about now, which is Ian's posts at the top that you're seeing. So those are the derivatives of Isabelle's Nomad. And we haven't announced kind of when that's ending or what the winner will be getting yet, but we will soon. And then also, Danny, I wanted to jump in too. We also have, I'll pin it at the top in a second, but we have, it's not really a contest. Well, kind of. We basically put up a post today saying, show us your favorite art. And so that post is getting a lot of incredible artists. I'm going to pin it right now. So if you're an artist or you know any amazing artists out there, pin their work, and we're actually going to be buying a couple of pieces for the Nomad gallery vault, which is very exciting.
I have some nice pieces for sale.
Awesome.
I'm just joking. Most people know I don't really sell much.
So one of the things that we said from the very beginning is that we're always going to be investing in the art community. So that's just, we've been doing it since the beginning. We're going to continue doing it. We're going to keep buying art. And one of the ways that we're going to make it official is we're creating a Nomad Boulevard vault. So it's a vault, but it's also a museum. And we're not sure which one of those two names is going to stick or which one makes the most sense to use in perpetuity. But essentially, we're buying artwork from our featured artists and from people in the community. We're going to be putting that art in our vaults, and it's going to be the community's vaults. So if you are a nomad, if you're a nomad, that's going to be your vault as well. And the more stuff that we get in that vault, and the more that the artists, part of the Nomad Boulevard community, rise in fame and success, and their artwork becomes more valuable, so will the vaults, so will the community. And I think that's really cool. We're also going to be buying some stuff from collectible projects whose mission is aligned with ours, whose values are aligned with ours. And, we're really thinking about how to best do that. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of events, and the events aren't just going to be like a party where like you party with people. Like, we're going to do stuff where we display artwork on NFT screens, and we're going to be also bringing some physical art in. We're going to be doing pop-ups, and we're going to get different members of the community from different places around the world to host Nomad events. So there are going to be a lot of different ways that we're going to be able to showcase the art that we're buying for the vault in the museum, and some of these winners are going to be no exception. They're going to go in the Nomad Boulevard vault.
Speaking of real life events, are you guys going to like Vegas, Denver? I think there's Atlanta. I think there's LA NFT event.
I'm sorry, Misha, say that one more time. I got rugged for a sec.
You were talking about real life events. I'm just asking if you guys are thinking about going like to Denver or NFT LA, or I think there's one in Vegas. I know there's one that's going to be in Atlanta.
Yes, so a lot of the team members at Nomad Boulevard live in Denver, coincidentally. So I'm going to firm it up tomorrow with one of our partners, but we're going to be throwing a get-together of sorts, party, event, whatever you want to call it, in Denver on Thursday, please hold, Thursday the 17th. So that's going to be the Thursday going into the second weekend of ETH Denver. It's going to be a Nomad Boulevard event. We likely will have some partners, so it's going to be in concert with some other people in the space, and it is going to be something you don't want to miss. So basically, we're going to be out in LA tomorrow night. We're going to be doing ETH Denver on February 17th, and we're looking at doing our Nomad Boulevard launch party as soon as the next weekend. So a lot of stuff. We were going to do a launch party this month, but because of COVID and health and safety, we decided to push it back. And then after we do this kind of ETH Denver and launch party, then we're going to start doing stuff in other locations. We were in NYC NFT or NFT NYC. We were in Art Basel. We're going to continue to do NFT events like that. Not sure about Vegas yet. definitely going to do something with NFT LA, which is happening in March. And I'm pretty sure we're going to just do the whole circuit now, and it's going to be a really easy way to connect with people both in and outside of the Nomad community. Highly recommend checking out one of these events if you haven't yet. You meet so many people, you establish such strong connections. Going to the IRL events has completely changed the way that we operate Nomad and the way that we built it out completely. Highly recommend it.
Danny, the other one that you guys didn't mention is NFT Cabo. That's going to be in the end of February. So a group of us are going to go down to Cabo San Lucas for a great NFT conference.
Coincidentally, I'll be there for a bachelor party, so it just works out perfectly.
Nice.
That's amazing. Leon, remind me what the dates are, because I still haven't talked with your friends that are putting that on.
Yeah, with Tomek, I believe it's February 24th to 28th.
24th.
But you can just go yeah, nftcabo.com. Pretty easy.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's something that I forgot about. So we'll get back. We'll make announcements when we got info about the parties, and maybe we'll also create a channel in our Discord about NFT events and meetups, so that we can kind of keep track of everything. Because trust me, this year, every week, every weekend, there's going to be something somewhere. I'm sure of it. So gonna bring Porky back up on stage. And Ian's, Jeremy, Misha, Jess, Looks, please feel free to stay up here, join in on the conversation. YVR, Wes, Joso, Brandy and Brandon behind Nomad, and Isabel. Obviously, we all know each other. We've known each other for a while, but please feel free to stay up here, participate, jump in, unmute, and anyone else who's down there that has been thinking about raising their hand or has something to say. Just request to come up here, and when it's the right time, I'll bring you up. So, yep, go for it.
Hey, Danny. Yeah, just when you mentioned the community wallet, I mean, obviously, I think it's a great idea. Is that going to be something maybe you discuss tomorrow on just how that's going to work and the decision-making process? Or is that kind of further down the line?
I think, yeah, no, I think tomorrow we're going to talk about the way that the community is going to make decisions together. I don't know yet how into the weeds and how in detail Andy, who is leading the conversation, is going to go. The main reason why VR is because we want to make sure that before we explain how something is going to work, that we are doing it all above board. And that's the reason why we haven't been more articulate about our DAO and about our future plans, because there isn't precedent truly set in the US for how to do some of this stuff. So for all intents and purposes, we are an art project, and anything else above and beyond an art project, we're doing our homework, and we have some very bright legal minds and an accounting team that are experienced in the space that we're seeking counsel from, that are advising on us. We are becoming very good friends and industry colleagues with people from other DAOs and other projects that have developed into community-led organizations. We're doing our homework. We're doing it the right way. And as much as we'd love to tell you all of the stuff that we talk about every day until it's kind of bulletproof, we want to be careful.
Yeah, understood. No problem. Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, and Leon, I hope you're there tomorrow at 5. That would be awesome. This is going to be kind of this is the first time we're doing something like this, so it'd be great to have you there.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. I'm also bringing Bstract up here, who is up very, very early in the morning if you're still in the part of the world that I think you are. So Bstract, welcome to the stage. How are you?
Morning, how you doing? It's really early here.
Yeah, while you were connecting, you probably didn't hear me say it, but I said Bstract is up very, very early if I think you're where I think you are.
I was just saying hello, really. I had a question, but it's gone out of my brain. So just saying hello to everyone.
Well, hello. Actually, you know what, Bstract, have you posted the artwork, the Nomad artwork you did yet on Twitter?
I actually did yesterday, yeah. Quite late, I think, last night. I don't know what I've tweeted since then, but I could maybe try and find it if you like.
You know what? I found it. All right, I'm going to pin this. Anyone who comes to the stage that has done a derivative for Nomad, I'm going to pin up here just so we can all take a look at the talent that the talent that we have in this community. Um, you know, you're just not going to see another derivative like this. This is really really cool. Beastrat, can you tell us? I know that you've come up on stage before, but can you tell the room a little bit about you and the art that you do, and kind of why you decided to do this derivative?
I just love the community, really. I love Isabelle's work, so that's the reason that I did it. It's been a lot of fun. I work as a musician. That's my job, and I got into the NFT world just because I had 18 months of no tours and no gigs. I'd been doing artwork for years and years and years. So when everything got cancelled, I was able to stay at home and paint and create, and that's really how I got into the space around May last year. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
And how did you make that? Is that a digital painting, or is that a painting that you took a picture of?
No, so everything there is actually hand painted. It is kind of, I painted it in layers, if that makes sense. So there's three aspects. It's made up of three of my paintings, and then I drew out Isabelle's work and I photoshopped it together.
Yeah, just
it's so
unreal.
cool. I love it.
Yeah, so rad.
And Beastrat, remind me, you're in the UK?
I am, yes. I'm from a tiny little island called Jersey. And then last night I flew over to London and up to see my fiance in Northampton. So I got in at 2 o'clock last night, and I was really trying to stay up, and then I just woke up this morning ready for the space. So yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. All right, well, welcome. And also, Beastrat, just so you know, there are a bunch of people in the space that have done derivatives that have kind of, have kind of followed what you started in the Nomad community. If you check out Manu Stegi and you check out Ian's, we pinned a couple of Ian's pieces up there. Manu, we'll get you up here and pin yours as well. Also, 3min X. People are starting to really come to the table with amazing versions of the Nomad, so check that out. We've also got Jeremy on stage. So Jeremy is an artist, but new to the NFT space. So it's actually been pretty cool having him up on stage because he's been asking questions, like what is a PFP, and what do you mean by derivative? And we've just been kind of, just doing just a low key clinic on kind of the NFT basics tonight, but kind of layering that on top of Nomad Boulevard and the art community. And it's just kind of been fun. We haven't really done a space like that yet.
And
We
by
also
the
have
way,
Misha.
Danny,
Yeah.
it's just such an honor to see all these derivatives. They're so beautiful and so inspiring to see, the artwork from different artistic minds. I just wanted to throw that in there, that these pieces are artwork, and I can't even believe that I get to be at the center of this kind of project where people are now doing derivatives of the piece. So I'm kind of just blown away. I highly recommend anyone here to go drop into the Discord and check out the art contest that's happening, because the pieces that are being put in there, submitted, are absolutely mind-blowing. And this one by Beastrat is just an example of the incredible work that's coming out. So truly honored.
By the way, if everyone looks at someone in the audience that goes by the dude is part of the Nomad team now, and helping us in Discord and helping us articulate to the community what we're doing. So definitely give him a follow. Give him a follow, and excited to meet you more, the dude. All right, I'm also going to pull up a couple more people. I'm just going to remove a couple of people right now from the stage just so we can make
I'm
some
going to
room.
step down. It's like 1:30 here in New York. I need to wake up early for my flight. But
All
I
right,
see you
Misha.
tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, DM me, okay? And we'll exchange contact info, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Safe
Perfect.
travels.
Have a good night, guys. Have a good night, y'all.
Thanks, Misha. All right, cool. I'm going to bring up Porky first, and see if I can get Manu next. Looks like they're both connecting. What's that, Jess?
Thank you so much.
Hey, Jess, you're sounding super robot-y. It's like, thank you. I think you said that you, which probably means thank you.
I think I caught some of it. She was saying thank you, and also I think she said that she could be dropped down. Give a thumbs or give 100 if you said thank you, and
Can
I don't
you
know.
hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I never know when it's gonna do that. What? Who is singing? I I was saying you could totally drop me down, and thank you so much for answering all my questions and for this like whole room of creative, amazing people and artists and just community people, and you guys fucking rock, everybody in this room. So thank you.
Jess, you're welcome. And just really quick, can you just tell me where you're based, or tell us where you're based?
I am in Chicago, but I will be in Arizona for the next 4.5 months starting next week.
Nice. All
And
right, cool. Well, LA is not too far away, so maybe you make
yeah,
a trip out here when we do one of our events.
I hope so. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Always feel free to come back on stage with us, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. So, Porky, welcome back to the stage. You were up here for a minute, and then I think you dropped. What's going on? You had your hand raised.
Hey, yeah, sorry about that before. I figured, I just wanted to just give the space back after I had mentioned that one thing about the PFPs. But I did want to say, thanks to everyone in this room because I am, very new to this space, and I'm definitely learning a lot as I sit in here. I'm excited to be a part of this project. I minted 4 passes and excited to see,
Let's
what I end
go.
up with. It's, it sounds cheesy, but like for this project specifically, I'm like I really do love the art, and so I think it's I'm just really really stoked about that. And actually I didn't realize that so many of the team were based in Denver. I'm sitting here in my apartment in Denver right now, so it's really cool to know that like this stuff is happening nearby. And as someone that wants to kind of like get into this space more, I currently work in advertising, but like have vision for different concepts for projects. I think it's just it's exciting to know that the world of NFTs is kind of alive and well in this area, and I'm kind of psyched to just like get out there and be a part of it.
So, do you want to come to our thing in Denver on the 17th?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so DM me. Let's make sure we connect offline. Also,
Okay.
Wes Henry lives in Denver. He just moved there a couple of months ago from Chicago.
Woo-hoo.
And
Nice.
yeah, we've got a bunch of people on the team over there, and Denver is like quietly becoming an NFT hotspot. I'm not even
Nope.
kidding. So,
It's great. It's really exciting.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
also,
people don't realize it's sunny like every fucking day, man. That's a big deal.
It's fun. That's exactly what I said when I moved here. I had visions of this place because all I really knew about Colorado is what I had learned from watching South Park, and then I got here and I was like, "There's no snow like most of the time, and it's always really sunny and nice." And yeah, it was a real shock for me.
I mean, people
so
don't realize that Denver is a high altitude desert. All right, I'm always just like
Exactly.
it's like a paradise, and if you want to do activities, that I don't think there's a better place to live in the United States.
We gotta keep it a secret as long as we can.
NFTs are going to ruin that for you because there are just going to be all of these NFT conferences there, and then people are going to start taking photographs and minting them. And there's going to be a project called Denver. Denver is the oasis of the United States. Move here, and anyway, it's all downhill. So you said that you work in advertising. Wes used
Yeah.
to work in advertising. Brian Morris used to work in advertising. Ali Sabit used to work in advertising. Gabe Weiss. A lot of the featured artists from Nomad happen to have, kind of cut their teeth in advertising before jumping into the NFT space. What do you think about that? Is that you? Are you coming next?
It makes a lot of sense. I think the
as a creative, right? Like I want to be making stuff, and to seeing my friends get out there and start projects and you know, form communities. I think a big part of what I'm excited about in this whole world is like the community building, because I think that in the last couple of, you know, maybe let's say the last decade, things have felt like we've been so connected that we're actually further apart than we've ever been. And like, you know, joining these different discords that I've been in, and just like making friends in the same way that I did maybe like 15 years ago when I was playing on Xbox and stuff like that. Like I think it's bringing me back to a time that I thought was really interesting and really like rewarding, and helping me to build relationships that I think are just, they're on a deeper level than they had been in the past. So I think it's all really exciting.
Corky, you just made me think of it in a way. Yeah, that was really deep. Made me think in a way I never had before. That's crazy.
Yeah, dude, I think that's the most understated point I've heard in a long time. Like, I completely agree. Like, this is a space that, you know, as someone that got out of advertising and was working remote and for myself, it's not necessarily lonely, but yeah, you'll have like meetings, and you know, your entrepreneurial spirit brings about other people that got out of a 9 to 5, and you realize, oh, there's a whole world of non 9 to 5 people, but it's still, you're isolated. But the NFT world came along, gone is that feeling. It's very different. Every single night you come on here and hang out, and someone's doing something. Oh, there's another event in LA in 2 weeks. You're like, seriously, once a month there's like a spot to go, and if you start going to those, then you make even more friends and you start seeing them more. And I mean, Hero, we have been friends since college, very close friends, like best friends. And we, you know, it was always like, oh, I'll catch you in the next like 2 or 3 years or something. We talk many times a week, and we have since the very beginning of this, which is crazy.
I love it. I think there's something just so great about like, yeah, the kind of friendships, the kind of relationships, just the kind of connections that you're making with people, are, they feel so, you know, I don't know, just legitimate and authentic, and everyone seems so excited. And yeah, I'm excited too.
Jeremy, I see you have your hand up.
Oh, yeah. I actually have to drop off, but I wanted to thank you again, and thank all of the speakers for all of the knowledge and experience you guys have shared. I mean, I want to second what Jess was saying. Like, just this first taste of the community already is fucking amazing. Like, you people are awesome. I'm definitely gonna connect with you on the DMs. But I also, you know, I live in LA as well, but my wife is immune compromised, so we have been taking like social interaction or lack thereof extremely seriously. So it's frustrating knowing that you're having an IRL event tomorrow, and I'm like, I really, you know, I can't go, but hopefully somewhere down the line when we get through this, I'll actually be able to interact with you in person. But I want to thank you again, and just, yeah, I look forward to connecting with you, and following all the people that I've met here, all the great artists I've met just in this brief space, and checking out the Discord. So thank you so much.
Yeah, man, it was great having you up here. Thank you.
Likewise. Good to connect with another Los Angeles artist.
I'm just gonna take a moment real quick to say thanks again, and I'm actually gonna hop off, guys. But yeah, I will DM a bunch of you, and excited to just, you know, see where everything goes with this. Congrats again on the sellout. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm pretty sure Danny's been rugged, or he would have talked by now.
You're probably right, or he's typing. No, he definitely would have talked by now. By the way, I just saw your guys' Discord. You got like almost 2,800. That's crazy. Good work.
Yeah, big ups to B&B, our marketing squad. They're killing it.
Woo woo! Thank you. A lot of that goes to Andy for the Discord. Waterboy.
Jun-san.
Jun-san.
Or is it one?
It's one.
Yeah, and Mike has stepped up.
Is it Wan-san? I always call him Jun-san.
No.
I'm gonna still call him Jun-san.
It's definitely June.
I miss Danny already.
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's just not the same.
Danny, where are you, hero?
I feel like our life coach just went missing.
It's like, where's the air in the room?
It just got real cold in here.
Yeah, dude, I fucking hate Wes. No, I'm kidding. Wes, you coming out to LA for NFT LA or art show, whatever it is this week?
This week? No, I don't think so. There's a reason a lot of people are down there right now. Like
I think it's
Nina's down
a
there.
LA art week or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
every year downtown LA.
Gotcha.
Jeremy, are you still there?
I'm
Jeremy?
not planning on it, but I'm sure there's
Jeremy, are you still
like
there?
every week there's a reason. There he
Jeremy.
is. Thank God.
He's back. He's back, everyone.
It's live.
Oh no.
Bullshit.
Oh
He can talk
no,
now.
this is fake
No.
out.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, that's
Oh.
bullshit.
So Jeremy left.
How's it going, Danny? Yeah, you scared him.
I scared him. I hope someone in the room said we wish him and his wife all the best, right?
Yeah, of course we did.
Okay, good.
Kinda.
All right. Nice. By the way, we've done how many Twitter Spaces in the past 5 months? Like, Isabelle, how many do you think we've done?
That's a tough one. How many have we not done though? That's the real question.
All of them. All of the
Yeah.
ones that we haven't done yet. And I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, I say more. More is better.
Have you done over 100?
No. Anyway, my point is, of all the ones that we've done, this space tonight is, if not the one of my favorite ones we've done so far. Is my point.
Yeah, and when we get to 100, we'll have to celebrate. Oh.
All right, well, now is the time that I'm going to basically say to the rest of the room, whoever wants to come up and join us for the last 10 minutes, request to come up here and we'll bring you up. But I don't want to forget about the giveaway I said we'd do at the beginning of the night if we got to 150 people, which we didn't. But that's cool too, because the vibe tonight was like definitely more of like a 50-person vibe than a 150-person vibe. So, Brandon, what did we say we're going to give away?
Yeah, we're giving away the merch pack, and I believe a mint pass.
No, so we're not doing a mint pass. We're just doing a merch
just
pack.
Kidding.
The 150.
Yeah.
Sorry, just the merch pack, which is not just.
Yeah, so it's a T-shirt, it's a sticker pack, it's a gold JPEG dog tag, and a brand new car. So if you want to win that, you just had to go up to our pinned tweets and retweet, like, add some people. If you've already done it, great. If you haven't, just show us some love on Twitter. Make sure that if there are other people in your world that don't know about us yet that should, just let them know. We want to bring awareness to the space. Also, if you didn't mint a Nomad Mint Pass, and you still want to get in before the reveal, there are some on secondary that are not too much higher than the original mint price. A few. And then we're going to be doing our real reveal a week from tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, at 5 p.m. PST, we're going to be walking the community through the roadmap and giving some Nomad Alpha, or Beta, as we like to call it on this room. So if anyone wants to come up here and hang out, say anything, talk about what you're working on, ask any questions, now's the time. We're going to do 9 more minutes. Otherwise, we're going to do this giveaway. So, on that note,
which part did you want us to retweet? Sorry.
I don't know.
Is it too late? It's fine.
No, it's not too late. It was it is the second pinned tweet up there, about the spaces. Just us tonight, or just us. Join us tonight.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure people join next time, but I'll tweet it anyways. Thank you.
Yeah, we haven't picked a
Danny,
winner yet, right, Brandy?
Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Not yet.
Did I say Twin Peaks?
No, I did though.
Yeah.
I just can't stop thinking
Okay,
about Twin Peaks.
I can't stop thinking about it either.
Trust
It's
me.
so weird.
Because one night when we did like a 6-hour Twitter space, I was saying like, yeah, just go up and check your Twin Peaks. And, you know, because everyone's on mute, no one laughs when you do something. So it's just silence. And I'm like, Twin Peaks. And in my head, I'm like, did anyone hear me say that? And I'm like, I know they fucking heard me say it because I just said it. I'm not getting any reaction. You know what there should be? There should be something where PFPs can like press a button and like their head turns a little bit and like, you know, their head goes back a little bit and they laugh. There's got to, you know, this is just the beginning, I'm sure. You know, and it's because the emojis, like I'm so the emojis
and
that
hate how
Twitter
limited
gives
the
you,
emojis are.
man. And do you ever try to like scroll to the right on the emojis? Like maybe there's something next to the hand raise. It drives me crazy. And then, you know, when Jeremy was saying that, you know, he and his wife are in some kind of situation, I just like gave him a fist. Like that's not what I was looking for. I needed something else to express what I wanted to say.
Like a hug one would be great.
A heart, you know, whatever, something, not a fist.
100%.
Yeah, the ones on Telegram I think are the best though. If we could get some of those, they're the best.
Yeah, Telegram doesn't have any like Telegram spaces, right?
Well, I mean, technically no. I mean, you could create your own room, I guess, and invite everybody that you wanted to.
But can you go on audio?
Yeah, they have audio.
So you could do kind of a private Twitter Spaces in Telegram.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
Interesting.
How fast did that one come to market? Because I remember never heard of it before, and then in 1 week, everyone I knew was like, "Oh, dude, hit me up on Telegram," and I'm like, "Why?" It's like one of those. It's like a new acronym. Like everyone just all of a sudden uses it daily.
Telegrams for like OG cryptoers and drug dealers.
Gotcha.
And it's not Telegram; it's TG, Wes. TG.
TG. There you go. Another fucking acronym.
By the way, I just want to make a comment before we say hi to Senator Greaves and then Angie. I know for sure that there are people in this room that are uncomfortable coming up on the stage because they either forgot what they were going to say when they had something super intelligent to say 20 minutes ago and the conversation has gone in a different direction, or it's just uncomfortable, or they're an introvert, or whatever. And I know this because I've spoken to dozens of people who tell me this. And, you know, I even got a couple of DMs from this group tonight saying like, I came on stage. This was my first time coming on stage, and it was nerve wracking, but I'm glad I did it. Appreciate the space. So like, I'm just saying that out loud because sometimes the best guests, or you know, the people that say something that really shift the conversation in an amazing way, are the people that were almost about to not come up here. So just putting that out there. Senator, you want to say what's up, and then we'll go to Angie.
Oh, that was a great segue here. I check all those boxes, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, I've just been listening to you guys all night. It's nice, soothing little conversation. And in fact, you guys started talking about those derivatives, and I switched gears and immediately started working on derivatives once that subject came up. It got me inspired. But
speaking of which,
you guys talked about. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, we're on a little bit of a delay, Senator. I was going to say that, you know, you did a derivative. You know, I think you're the first person to do a derivative. You just didn't make it public. You just DM me, and it's unreal. So, you know, you should enter that competition. and or at least share, what you've done. I mean, it's a Nomad like no one's done before.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll do that. I only heard about the contest tonight, so yeah, for sure. One other thing, you guys were talking about Cabo. I hope some of you guys make it down. YVR Trader and I are gonna do some fishing, and we're happy to feed you guys with all the fish we slay.
Hell yeah, looking forward to it, buddy.
That
So hopefully
quote
you guys
that's
get out
like,
there.
that quote, and it goes, I'm going to butcher this, but there's a quote that says, I pretty much like everyone, but there are very few people I'd go fishing with. Have you ever heard that
I
quote?
haven't heard that one. I have not, but I like it. That might be my next tattoo.
I think it's a pretty good quote, and I would definitely go fishing with YVR. So I think you're making Wes. I don't know. I don't know about that. YVR for sure. Senator, also just to let you know, for Denver, for ETH Denver, we're talking about Thursday night, the 17th, doing the event. I know you were telling me earlier that you were thinking about Friday, but if you could move it up a day, I'm going to just be going in for 24 hours, Thursday morning to Friday morning, because I can't. I've got something on Friday, so if you can make it work, would love to meet you.
Yeah, I actually DM'd you a few minutes ago. You happen to know what time of day you might be hitting that?
I don't, but it'll be in the evening. Probably like okay. 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., which is usually when Wes wakes up. So
perfect. Yeah, I'm flying in at Friday morning as it sits right now, but I think we'll try to bump it back and catch that.
That would be amazing. Love to see you. And as soon as we confirm it, like tomorrow. So as soon as we do, I'll make sure to let you know. So Angie, you were next up. Better hang out with us. Hang out with us up on the stage if you don't mind. But Angie, I wanted to say hello and welcome you to the stage. Tell us a little bit about what you do in the NFTs and what brought you into the room tonight.
Hi guys. Yes, so I started in the Twitter space with the NFT world in November, so I'm relatively new, but I've heard you guys in other spaces, and I was very interested in the project because I'm LA based, born and raised LA girl. So I just wanted to see what the difference between the founder and the collector passes, as well as if the events will be in person in LA.
Amazing. Well, welcome. Glad you showed up. So the Founders Pass was something that, the Founders Pass was something that we did about a month ago. And it was really to make sure that all of our friends, family, early supporters, and people that were just early on our project were able to mint early. So the Founders Pass was all about being early. And one of the ways that we're thanking people for being early is sending them a free merch package. So it includes a limited run Nomad Blvd t-shirt. It includes a sticker pack with a bunch of different Nomad Blvd stickers, all very high quality and thoughtfully designed. Isabelle doesn't let anything go out into the wild unless her stamp is on it. And it also includes a founder's JPEG dog tag, which is, the JPEG dog tags are our signature merch item. It's kind of one of our signature pieces. So we did a special founders one that is in black that's going to be included, and we're also going to include the gold JPEG dog tag. Isabelle's been sending out autographed postcards with the Nomad Blvd on it. So that's one thing that you get for having a Founders Pass. And then the other thing, which we'll talk about a little bit more tomorrow, is as we build out the next phase of Nomad, there's going to be additional utility that comes with having that Founders Pass. So I'll explain how that works technically, or Andy will tomorrow, and what the mechanics are behind that. But there's definitely more weighting on the Founders Pass. However, the Collector's Pass is still totally legit, because whether you have a Founder's Pass or a Collector's Pass, you're exchanging them for the same randomized lottery of Nomad NFTs. So it doesn't matter if you got in super early or if you got in last weekend. When you go to exchange a week from tomorrow, it will be completely random as to which Nomad you get. We're not giving founders the added advantage of being able to get a rarer piece, right? Everyone is going to be given an equal chance to mint. Cool. And then you asked something about LA. What was your question about Los Angeles?
If the events will be held in person or are they virtual events?
So yeah, the events that I am talking about, which is us hanging out tomorrow night somewhere, the event that we're throwing in Denver during the ETH Denver week, and then also our launch party, which we might reconsider that date because I totally forgot about NFT Cabo. Those are going to be IRL, in person. We have talked about doing events in the metaverse, something in Decentraland and really what we keep coming back to is that what's comfortable for us right now is Twitter Spaces and Discord, because that's what we feel comfortable with right now. We are having conversations right now, though, about building metaverse assets for the Nomad Boulevard community with a major potential future partner. And we absolutely are going to be building the Nomad Boulevard in the metaverse. And there might even be Nomad Boulevards in multiple universes. So Nomad Boulevard is a long-term play, and we're just going to go at our speed. And I think that's something that I would recommend to other people in the space who are thinking about doing their own project or making moves or building. Go at a pace that's comfortable at you, not at a pace that you feel is expected of you by the craziness of the space. A lot of times we make decisions and the decisions aren't in line with the way other projects have made decisions. And sometimes that's a misstep on our part. Sometimes we don't know, but we just have to do what you're comfortable with because otherwise you'll lose your mind. Literally, if you're not on every single Twitter space at the same time of every second of every day, you're missing something. So just accept the fact that you're missing something and, go at a pace that works for you. Angie, so you're in LA?
Yes, I am.
Without doxing too much, what general part of LA are you in?
I am about 15 minutes from Hollywood, 20 minutes from downtown LA.
Okay, same basically. So I think tomorrow, if we don't meet up somewhere in downtown LA, we're probably going to meet up somewhere in West Hollywood. So look, it's going to be nomads and NFT people, artists, and everything. If you want to come hang out, I'm sure we'll plan something by kind of tomorrow afternoon, and you're welcome to join us.
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. I would love to.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, hang out with us for a bit. I want to go to Mufasa, and I'm also going to bring up a couple more people too. So Mufasa, what's going on?
Nothing much, brother. Just working on this Nomad derivative, trying to get it done as fast as possible for the competition.
See what I mean about going at your own speed?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Honestly, it's just like either it doesn't get done or I'm just gonna keep doing it just because of how much fun I'm having right now.
Amazing. Look,
Yeah.
we're going to do more of these too, right? There are obviously going to be more artists that come into the space and more artists that join Nomad Boulevard. So, if you don't get it into the competition before we finalize that, all good. There will be use for it, but I've already seen the first half. I feel like you're going to get it done.
Let's hope so. I'm definitely excited for everyone to see it. It's such a. It honestly looks so much sicker to me, if that's even a word. But yeah. I wanted to say for people coming up on the stage, it's just and I'm one of them. I feel like in the NFT space, I'm still a young little guppy or like a student compared to you guys that you're the senseis, and so I feel like I don't bring any value to the space or to the talks because of the fact that I don't know as much. So there's questions I could ask, but it's obviously like ones that have already been answered. But it's like compared to what you guys are talking about, I don't really. It's like I don't know what to say because I don't know. So it's just I
Dude,
think
but
a lot of people can relate.
questions are adding value, dude. Like I would say that's some of the best shit is good questions.
or simple questions.
Like,
You
what's a
know,
PFP? Yeah, that was a banger.
well, look, it was because, here is, a guy named Jeremy that I was calling Jeremy or something before he corrected
Jeremy, I
me.
couldn't believe that.
I know. Well, who knows, right? Look, you're never going to get it right all the time, as long as you adjust. But it was good because, Mufasa, like when you use the word sensei, I kind of laugh, right? Because a year and a half ago, I had no idea what an NFT was. I wasn't like, in my garage in 2013, trading Bitcoin on a server somewhere in the something framework. Like, no, man. I just that's not how it started. My friend, I tell the story all the time, but Wes called me and was like, I need your help. And I'm like, okay, what can I help you with? And he's like, I want to get in the NFT space. And we both didn't even really know what that meant other than, it was like going to be this next thing. And I remember going on OpenSea and being like, well, this is not going to really be a thing because this is completely useless. It's just a bunch of randomness in this random sea. And when I tried to buy Wes's first NFT, which by the way I own, it's a one of one. I'm not selling it. It's in the vault. It's probably worth a lot of money. It took me like days to buy it, to learn how to buy cryptocurrency, to transfer it from my bank account, to wait for the delay, to transfer it to MetaMask, to then wrap it in WETH, to then, I was totally lost. And that was a year and a half ago. So like,
That's crazy.
yeah, so, I feel like senseis are like 79-year-old wizards who have dedicated their whole lives and they're like, finally a sensei. And then there's like a 17-year-old, kid who's like, sensei. But like, that's just not us. We're on the same page. I just got in a little bit earlier than you.
Danny, no, you're our Mr. Miyagi.
YVR
wax off that Bitcoin, man.
Okay, well, if I'm Mr. Miyagi, YVR is
Yoda.
Yoda, nice.
So, Mufasa, anything before I bring a couple more people up here? Anything going on in in your world that is worth other people hearing about?
Oh, that's okay. One thing is that just when the space started, someone said, "Hey, you have a really cool PFP." I was like, "Thank you," and then 5 minutes later, they bought it. So now my friends are telling me you can't have it anymore. To get rid of it, it's theirs now. I'm just like, there's no way I'm getting rid of this. This is one of my favorites, literally.
So
that's hard.
Yeah. What do you guys think? If someone buys your NFT, or like Wes, like if someone buys like the skull you have right now, would you keep it as a PFP or would you?
I don't own this skull, but it's just like I say, as the creator, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like I know
Exactly,
NFT is like you bought ownership, but like also you made that shit, so that's still yours. But if someone, they're fucking with you. They're not gonna be like actually mad, but yeah, I say as a creator, I say you can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's what's
You're just that you're advertising for them, but you as the creator are still going to get a royalty if they sell it again. So what's wrong with that?
That's
true. There
you
go.
Yeah.
You're always connected to it from the blockchain. So there you go, dude.
Always in my heart. And just cherish it. One thing else I'm actually interested in doing, really, really interested in doing that now because I'm learning more about printing and like prints and clothing and everything. So now I'm trying to bring more of the physical world into NFT space and for my collection especially. And I'm really, really interested in doing one-of-one clothing, which is really, it's going to be interesting, but I'm talking to someone about it and trying to create like, or at least not, I don't know if one-of-one or limited just quantity, but yeah, just like limited artworks just for specifically for like for a piece of clothing.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that is definitely I don't know much about fashion, but my initial gut reaction is like, oh, that's very interesting because I think of clothing as like the other way around. Like you don't make one T-shirt, you make a lot of them, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's cool. I guess I'm not the one to speak on that because I know nothing of fashion type of shit.
Yeah, I would have like to make it more appealing to the NFT space, I would have it attached to an NFT. So let's say like there's like 10 of them, like the first 10 people get that piece of clothing and they keep it as like the originals.
So, as a sensei in the
Yes,
space,
Sensei.
sorry, I was you when you finished explaining, I was in the middle of a meditation,
Gas
but
on, gas off.
yeah.
Flowing in meditation.
So one of my predictions this year is that combining digital and physical is going to be huge. Wes and I kind of go back and forth on this one, but I think it's an amazing, amazing idea. And if there was a piece of art that I really loved that I wanted to buy, and it was an artist that I connected with, and made me want to buy the art even more, and I knew that buying the art would also include me receiving a physical something in the mail, whether it's a signed print, a numbered signed print, or a T-shirt or something. That is very interesting to me. I've had this conversation with other people. They're like, the whole reason I buy NFTs is so I don't have to have more shit. I don't want to have more stuff, or like, I live in a studio apartment, or my kids are all over me. Like, I can't just. And so I think it just depends on the buyer. But for me personally, I think that is tangible utility that is going to do really well, especially as more people enter the space. Leon mentioned this earlier. Coinbase Marketplace is launching soon, and they've just partnered with MasterCard. What that tells me is that there are going to be more people buying NFTs effortlessly in the space than ever before, including people that still don't really get NFTs, but they do get using their credit card to buy shirts. Like that is like that's about as intuitive as it gets for a consumer. So if they know that at least they're getting a shirt from you or a signed print, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, also when Danny says that, people that are like, man, I don't know what to do with this physical shit. That's definitely me. I consider myself a minimalist, but I think at this point, the amount of people I've talked to, I'm in the minority. I think most people want the physical stuff. I think I'm on an island when I say I would love to just not have any physical with anything. That it almost becomes it could become a hassle. Like if you're forced to take a physical when you take a physical take a physical item, like when you buy an NFT, like it's shipped to you to your house and you have to, and like I think that given the option at a minimum, I think is a big deal, because someone might not buy it because they're like, I don't want a painting, a new painting or whatever it's going to be that you're going to ship them.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Like getting a message from an artist whose NFT you just purchased, and they're DMing you like, "Give me your address. I want to send you a shirt and a painting." You're not getting back to me. That would be
And
really
you're like,
funny.
leave me alone. Just give me
Hey,
I got the digital file. We're done.
right, we're done. So, hope that answers your question.
Dude, I'm just laughing.
So there are a couple more people that I'm going to give like 30 seconds to say a quick hello, because we do have a winner, and I want to make sure that we give away that prize before we close the room for the night. So that's why I took a couple people off the stage, just to give some space for Anastasia. Anastasia, if you want to say a very quick hello, and then Bradlea, if you want to say, or Sir Bradham. Just quick hellos, and let us know a little bit of something about you. And if you have any questions, obviously, please feel free to ask.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I see you guys having a good evening today. I especially want to say hi to, I know most of the people in this room. I love you guys. Thanks for sharing my work. I know you guys know me, my work, what I'm doing right now, what I'm up to. One thing I want to say special, thank you, Bess, for sharing my Coke. It's like changed my life completely, because you are the one of the big names who support small artists, and I appreciate it. Seriously, like I had tons of DMs asking me how I'm working, what my process. Can I do a quick time lapse? So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, you're gonna make me. This is it right here, right? Like, first of all, you're very welcome, and also know that, you know, I just looked at your profile again. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that Coke. You're a wonderful oil painter. Is it? Well, I assume it's oil. Is it
Yes,
oil
correct.
painting? Yeah.
Yes.
I love your style, and I love a lot of pieces that you've done. So just do me a favor and just never stop creating, because I think you're fucking wonderful. And I never throw around compliments if I don't mean it. I think toxic positivity ruins things, and everyone's too fucking nice and politically correct, and it's a bunch of bullshit. And I'm being 100% honest when I say I think your art is fucking awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the guys who comment and share my work and everything. I love this community. Seriously, like it totally changes all the game.
You know, I was in my head like it's 11:18. We got to do the giveaway. You know, there are two more people that requested to come up here. I was almost not going to do it, and that is an example of why you always bring more people up on stage. Anastasia, really appreciate that, and I'm following you now. I just took a look at one of the Coca-Cola bottles. Cool. So please stay with us, and glad you came up on stage to say hello.
Sure, of course. You guys have a good night.
You too. Bradley.
You too.
Over to you.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, so I'll be quick. Thank you for letting me come up on stage. I'm basically the new Jeremy for you guys, new to everything. So I kind of started looking at NFTs a couple months ago. I'm a senior college student. Ever since I was like 15, 16, I loved looking into statistical stuff like stocks, and I had my parents create stock accounts, and I would work basically under their account until I was 18, and then obviously now I'm 22, so I can do that on my own. Just a quick question. Hopefully, I don't disrespect any of the whole art industry. Is art NFT a good like investment portfolio piece?
So we can't give financial advice.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the answer to your question. But now that you know that we can't give you financial advice, what I would say is, like anything, um, things go up and down in value. And there are all different types of marketplaces with people that go to marketplaces and buy things and anything, So right now, I'm sure you're watching different NFTs soar. I'm sure you're aware that a lot of NFTs get minted and, never make any money. And so I think it's the best way to think about it is the art world and the collectible world in, outside of the NFT space, and compare it like that. I think we're heading in a direction where artwork that's minted on the blockchain isn't necessarily more or less valuable because it's on the blockchain or because it is an NFT. At the end of the day, it's art. I don't think a collectible will be any more. I don't think it changes, but there is something that's happening, which is instead of artwork being a physical, tangible thing and you buy it transactionally, like, here's my money, I now own your artwork. Because of the technology that we're seeing in Web3, you can add utility and benefits to that digital asset. That's how you have to factor that in. Yeah, Joseph.
Yeah, I was going to say, and just to answer your question, we can't give financial advice, but personally, I do think it's a good investment to invest in good artists who are getting into NFTs right now, right? People like Wes who are in the game, who are kind of first in it. Other great artists who have great art and who are, not just putting stuff out there, but also going to these events, doing the circuits, really marketing themselves in a smart way. They're the ones who are going to make it. There's going to be a lot of art out there that, maybe doesn't. But if you're smart about it, I personally do think those NFTs are good investments.
Can I just add something to that? I think if if you have a strong belief in Ethereum, I think collecting NFTs is probably your best way to stack your ETH. That's my strategy. So if you have the long-term view that Ethereum is going to be much, much higher, I think collecting NFTs is a very smart way.
Yeah, which personally I do.
Yeah, I also do. So again, definitely no experience compared to the room here, but I in high school I was always, like I said, into stocks. If it was Disney, if it was Amazon, if it was the big blue chip stocks, I would look into and obviously buy what I could afford. But then once I started to learn and do my own research about crypto, I basically liquidated not everything, but I liquidated a lot of that stuff, and Ethereum is the thing that I believe will be the next thing, if that makes sense. Like I have faith in it. So that's why then NFTs caught my eye, and I'm just trying to do my own research before I jump all in.
So yeah, look, do your own research, but I'll just give you an example. I have invested in some NFTs that have made a lot of money. And I've also invested in NFTs that I know will never make me any money. And so there are gains to be had and there are losses to be had. And, I'm sure Looks can attest this. You will experience both as gain experience in the space and start taking risks and chances. And, I think that the advice that was given to me, that is given to all people all the time in the space is invest what you can afford to lose in kind of this new age, right? Don't take out a mortgage out on your house, or don't sell your car, or don't do something that you can't risk betting on an NFT project. It should only be something that you can comfortably do. That is that's my logical advice for you. And wish you best luck. And I think if you're trying to get alpha or beta or information on which artists to follow and buy from and who to invest in, come to the Nomad Boulevard spaces, because one thing that our 15 featured artists do have in common is they've done really well for themselves. So, definitely give Wes a follow. Let me just scroll and see who else. Luther Brown is in the audience. Follow. And then we have other artists that aren't part of the Nomad Boulevard featured artist list, but are definitely part of the community and hopefully will be a part of it, down the road, that are in the audience. Everyone in this room should be following each other. I wish there was a way to do that. Like, I wish there was a way for me as a co-host in the room to just say, like, click, and everyone follows each other. But I could also
or
say
like an
that,
easier way to follow from the spaces instead of like clicking into everyone individually.
Right. So that is actually the right way, right? So that way I'm not telling you who to follow. Anyway, we've got a winner. It's time to announce that. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Really appreciate everyone's questions and comments and participation, and also people listening too. Brandon,
Yeah.
who is the winner?
We are so excited. The winner is, and I apologize if I am butchering your name, Zilica. Zilica. It's at KPCPA. Congratulations.
Woo woo!
So just real quick, I've invited Zilica to come up on stage. Let me just remove a couple of the speakers to make some space. I'm even removing Isabelle by Isabelle. All right, let's see if we can get the winner up on stage so we can say a quick hello. I'm going to invite one more time. It's always more fun when the winner comes up on stage, because then it's like, oh my gosh, I've never won something before. Oh my gosh. So that's cool. And we just like to say hello. Zilica.
Yeah, and I think it would be awesome too when they get their merch package. If you can tag us with some photos or send us photos, that would be great. We'd love to post them.
We're not saying like we scratch your back, you scratch ours. Like, that's not what we're
Yay!
saying.
No, we're excited
Right.
to see the stuff out in the wild.
we're not like saying like you owe us because like we just did this amazing thing for you. Like that's not what we're saying at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
But it's like if you did that, like that would be cool. Obviously, like we'd appreciate it. But like we're not. You know what I mean? All right, so it looks like Zilliqa is not coming up, but Zilliqa, if you hear us, please DM us. DM at Nomad Boulevard, and we need to figure out how to send this stuff to you. And by the way, if you don't want to share your address and you don't, you want to stay, anon. And is it anon or anon? Anon, right?
Anon.
Anonymous? Anon?
Yeah.
Anon.
If you want
Yeah.
to stay anon, you can always, say, look, don't send that to me and we'll find another way to, take care of you and then we'll give it to someone else. So all right. I just want to say a quick thank you to Looks for being up here tonight and, spreading some amazing information. Wes, as always, is like my co-host in life. Brandy and Brandon, who do all of our social and, these Twitter spaces wouldn't be possible without them. YVR, I don't want to make your head too big. Joso, my family, and also give the dude a follow. Our Discord is going to level up because we're leaning on the community to really help, and the dude is making that happen for us. Senator Greaves, I'll get in touch with you tomorrow about our thing in East Denver. If anyone isn't following Gabe Leonard, like honor that he's in the room. That's amazing. Manu, Beastract, James Johnson changed his PFP, didn't even recognize him, but follow him, an insanely talented artist. Anastasia, Luther Brown, Mufasa. It says Ulio, like OiiOoi. His name is Abel. Really talented artist. He's going to be doing a collaboration with Ether Brew soon. Eric Kerbelling. I wish we had more time to talk tonight, but I always say this the next time. Ian's Amazing Derivatives, 3Min X. I meant to bring you up here tonight to show everyone your derivative. We'll do that the next time. I just keep going and going and going, which means we're doing something right. Wes, I see you giving me a high five, so I'm going to give you a high five right back. Here's a high five to Wes.
Yo, I just wanted to say also to end it, Anastasia, that Coke painting, that was a 101. So I saw that you did that, and now I own it. So fuck yeah, I tweeted that out, and like I said, don't ever stop. You have amazing stuff, and people like YVR, go check her out. She's pretty amazing and has some amazing portraits in there. And thank you.
Yeah, I was looking at her stuff. You beat me to it, Wes. So.
Pretty damn cool.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. PST, we're going to be going over the roadmap. And a week from tomorrow is the big Nomad Boulevard reveal. Have a great night.
Thanks,
Bye.
Right, good night, everyone.
Good night.